Good evening, everyone. Not going to start with the normal shtick tonight. Just, events unfolding, worldwide. Thousands of people dying over in the Middle East, and here at home in America. Just breaking not long before we went on. Mass active shooter event taking place in Maine tonight. As of right now, we know there are at least 22 people dead, another 30 of which are injured. And again, I say at least. The person that's been identified as the person of interest, their name is Robert Card. Uh, Seems to be one lone shooter, three different locations.
Oh, it's confirmed three.
Confirmed three locations uh, at the city of Lewiston in Maine. It's 36,000 people, 35 miles north of Portland, Maine. Um, yeah. So, here on our show, we like to try and do the fun stuff and bring the fun and keep it light, keep it live, but it would not be reasonable for us to not at least recognize reality and things that are taking place and at least acknowledge them. Um, but we are theater kids, and we do believe the show must go on. And that is why we're here.
Yep.
And hopefully, if nothing else, to bring a little bright spot to at least each of our own days, because
Right.
ultimately we do this show for us. We don't
Right.
do it for anybody else. But if somebody else does happen to enjoy it, then at least we're doing something.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We were Mark called. We always kind of talk sometimes before the show, and then we do our pre-show stuff. And he called me up, and I hadn't really been watching the news, and so he told me about that, and we were questioning if we were going to do the show, and it basically boiled down to was, you know what, it it's dark outside. It's dark outside. Let's make sure we at least give a little bright spot somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, and
that's why
that's
we're
why I
here.
always say, James, when it's dark outside, I just need you to smile.
Stupid. uh,
How else am I going to find you, my friend?
well, you never know. Sometimes.
So, with that being said, uh, good evening, everyone. My name is Mark. I'm your fat friend,
And I'm James, your black friend.
and this is the Fat and Black Connection.
Of course, where we talk about anything and everything as long as it's interesting to us.
And for tonight, I felt like, based on events going around the world and here at home, I needed a 4 pack.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know if I'll go through all four. I've got
Well, yeah.
two. I've got two of the IPAs and two of the loggers.
It,
Which
it,
one should I start with?
you might as well do the worst ones first. I'm not a fan of the loggers. I am not a fan of the Broken Skull loggers. But the IPAs, I was surprisingly, those were my favorite ones. Those are my favorite Broken Skull. Is there another one? I heard there's a new one.
There is. It's in a black can. So right now I'll be drinking the American lager
Yeah.
at your
So
request.
actually, you remember that pumpkin whatchamacallit, Jackal Blast or whatever you had, that Captain Morgan you gave me?
Yeah.
So I had literally it sat in my cabinet for a while, and I was like, what am I gonna do with this stuff? And so I decided I bought some apple cider, and this is not the first time I've had this, but this is the first time I've had it on the show. So basically, I just had a glass, just pour some of that Jacko Blast in there, add some apple cider to it,
Mm-hmm.
and it actually works out quite well. So and then oh yeah, that's a lot of rum in there. I didn't realize. Ooh, poured way too much rum. And then this. I don't know
So
if you can
you
see.
asked just really quickly. There's the
Oh,
Broken
that.
Skull Double IPA.
Whew, I might have to give that a try if I can find it.
Sorry, go ahead.
But so they had these chips at work, and I saw them, and so I was like, that'd be something I could try on the show. These are Carolina Reaper, like flavored cheese puffs. So it says extra hot.
So it's Carolina Reaper flavored. So does that
I don't
mean
know
that
what that means.
I've never had a Carolina Reaper anything?
So a Carolina Reaper is apparently uh 1.5 million Scovilles.
I
Uh,
have no idea what that means though, relatively. Like,
that's like the hottest pepper. Well, I believe that
isn't the ghost pepper the hottest?
I think because I know this. I think this pepper came out after the ghost pepper, and I
Oh
think
no, the hottest pepper in the world is the Carolina Reaper.
yeah. So it's this. It's this. So these were only 75 cents. We've had these at work, and this from this company called Hers, HERRS, and they have some other chips that we like. They have a jalapeno popper like cheese puff.
I
The,
don't care. I just want to see this. So,
oh, okay.
to be clear, so everyone knows, James has done multiple food challenges over the years, and so I think you're probably going to be fine. Now, is the one chip challenge? Is that Carolina Reaper?
I don't know what that chip is. I've looked that chip up, and I was like, oh, I'm not paying for that.
Okay, yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right.
Well, maybe one of these days we'll try. Maybe at KaboomCon or something. I don't know, something ridiculous. Anyways, so this is a cheese puff.
Because what I'm thinking is it says it's Carolina Reaper flavored. So
Sorry,
yeah,
the dust.
okay. Are you
Whew. Yeah, no, we're good. No, it's actually not bad. It is. I feel the heat. I definitely feel the heat from it. But yeah,
okay?
it's
So
not bad.
is it enjoyable or is
Yeah,
it
yeah. It's actually good flavor.
okay?
Because I mean, I think the cheese takes. I think the cheese flavor helps it. So yeah, these are pretty good.
Fair enough. Cool. Well, we are live and we're here to engage with you. So remember that. We've got the chat features all open, so feel free to comment away unless you're a hater. If you're a hater, then hate away somewhere
We'll-
else.
yeah, we'll just we'll see your comment and then we will move it along.
Yeah, pretty much. So I think maybe it's time we dive on into some content. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right. Well, first and foremost, you already mentioned it. KaboomCon coming up September 7th, 2024.
That's
So
right.
a little over 10 months away. We're moving, man. When you think about it, we announced this thing more than a year out. It was a year and a
Yeah.
week out.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, we were just talking about it the other night. This blew up way bigger than we thought.
Yeah, our plan was okay, we're just going to get this little gymnasium, and if we can get 20 to 30 vendors to come, that'd be cool. Yeah, now we're up to almost 50 vendors, not including our food and beverage vendors. We've got the theater, we've got cosplay contests, we've got art contests.
I just talked to Lawrence Iriarte today, and he is so excited to be working on the Murphy's Inc. Graphic novel. Him and Diego are plugging away at that, and so they are really excited now that there's kind of a lull in Lumpia stuff. But apparently, he also did tell me, I don't know, he said there's other works coming from Lumpia, so that's exciting too. But for now, he's like, we're in a lull moment, so I'm excited not to be drawing Lumpia. I'm glad not to be drawing superheroes. I'm just glad to be working on something completely different. He was saying this is the first time in 35 years that he has worked on something that he really wanted to work on, that didn't involve superheroes, that didn't involve, it didn't involve Lumpia, which has been huge for them for the past 3 years. So
Well,
yeah.
more than that, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I'm saying,
It's been huge for the last 3. But
yeah, but it's been, that movie has been like, it's like 5 years in the or what was it, 10-year? I don't remember how long ago they started that crowd fundraiser for it, but
10 years ago.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago. Yeah, so I mean that was a huge push, and they got that all done. And now that the movie's released, it's you can buy it on all all platforms. I know you bought it on Apple. I bought it on Vudu. You can, if you go online to look up Olympia with a Vengeance, check this movie out. It's a lot of fun. Um,
You're in it.
I'm in it. It's, I mean, that's the crazy thing about it. This is a fully independent film, huge for the Filipino community, and like the fact that this film opened up a Comic-Con, that has never happened. Like, never just an independent superhero flick like this has ever done this. So this is really huge. So
Well, and
get on
remember
it.
the last independent film to have a screening at Comic Con prior to Lumpia was Star Wars.
Oh, I don't know about that. Really? That's
Yes,
interesting.
yes,
Wait,
indeed.
sorry. Oh, I guess, yeah. Because I mean, they didn't have really a name at the time, huh?
So, but talking about KaboomCon, talking about all the awesome things that are going on there, we've got some new vendors that are coming on.
Yeah, yeah.
So I thought we'd talk about them. And this first one I'm going to do a little bit deeper dive on because they have a full website. So this is the Bus Boy Mobile Cuisine. They are extremely well known around Carson City, which is where KaboomCon is taking place.
Is this the double decker bus?
This is, as a matter of factuality, the double decker bus.
Okay, this is one. I guess I don't need to call them because I was trying to call them, but I couldn't find. I must have had the wrong name.
Yes, it helps if you check to see who's actually signed up before you.
No, I did. I just like I went through. I was going through a page, and it just had like the top food trucks in the area, and so they were like number 1 or 2.
Yeah, so their prices are high. I'm not gonna couch it, right? Like it is what it is. But first item up for bids, beef Wellington.
Yo, what beef Wellington off a truck, bro?
First of all, it's a bus.
Off a bus?
It is a double decker bus.
Yeah, you
That
can actually eat on said bus, right?
that's correct. You order your food and you can go inside the bus and go up to the second level where there's tables and chairs to sit.
That's awesome.
Yes. Their second item up for bids, a ribeye steak.
Okay, can you zoom in on these prices, Gay?
Okay, fine. Ghee. Maybe I can't. Hold on. Let's see.
Or just zoom in on that picture so I can just see what it looks like. That beef Wellington.
Hold on, son. I'm trying to.
It's looking like fire.
Man, they do not have their website optimized, so no, I cannot zoom in. But let's see if I can. Oh, I can zoom in if I. So the beef Wellington, $35. Filet mignon with mushroom duxel, gorgonzola, and wrapped with puff pastry comes with your choice of 2 sides.
Yo.
And hold on, you got to hear about the sides, right? Here are your options: grilled asparagus,
Okay.
okay, garlic parmesan fries,
Okay.
beer battered asparagus,
Interesting.
sweet potato fries, and they're crisscross cut.
Oh, okay. Chris
Yeah.
Cuts. Chris Cut. That's what it is.
Sweet potato fries. So we chili cheese fries,
Okay.
regular fries, boring, or coleslaw. So they've got delicious sides. Their desserts, don't forget about
Why
those.
does that look like mashed potatoes?
Because I think when they first started doing this, they did mashed potatoes,
Oh, okay.
but it doesn't look like that's one of the options right now. So their desserts, though: apple fritter, a brownie, gluten free, a lemon bar, gluten free, or Doe's lemon cheesecake.
Mm.
So again, just going through the items real quick. Some salmon. They got a salmon dish. They've got beef sliders, beyond beef sliders, chicken tenders, child beef slider, more chicken tenders, chili dog, fish and chips. I had the fish and chips; they were really good. Frankenfurter thing is huge. Lamb sliders, salmon sliders. So
Dang.
I'm very excited to have Busboy coming.
Might need to swing by this bus real quick.
But yeah, so there's the double decker. You can see first floor is where they do the cooking, and second floor is where you can go eat if you want. We will have seating at KaboomCon, so you don't necessarily have to eat on their bus. You can eat out in the sunshine. But
Hey, but every once in a while, you might just want to get in that bus, check it out, have
yeah,
the experience.
Absolutely. Get in there, walk around, take a look, because, why not? Next up, unfortunately, their logo is a little small, so if I blow it up too big, it really loses its.
Was that the
Uh,
crafty cookie?
the crafty cookie. So they primarily specialize in sugar cookies that have like really cool designs. I've seen some of the ones that she has done, and they do adult cookies. So if you're really interested, getting I looked at her page and she's got like bosoms cookies and male genitalia cookies if you really want to go that route.
Them
But she
glizzies.
also she also does comic book character cookies. So
Yeah, we should probably leave the adult theme ones at home for this one.
yes, I did make sure to.
Leave those. Don't bring those this time.
Yeah. Next up, Hungry Hog pork sandwiches. This company is from Tulare, California, which, for those of you that don't know, is just north of Bakersfield. So
Yeah.
they are coming from quite a ways away to be at this event.
Yeah.
Uh, so they have different combo meals: one meat, two meat, three meat. They do brisket, tri-tip, pulled pork by the pound.
Get that 3 meat, bruh.
Their sandwiches come with jackfruit, biscuit, tri-tip, pulled pork, and their sides they got mac and cheese, nachos, and loaded baked potatoes.
Man. Wow. Just give me this. You know what? Just give me nachos. Give me nachos in the baked potato.
Nachos, they mine.
Put nachos in the baked potato.
Oh, went too far. My bad.
Yeah, whatever happens.
So,
Yeah,
uh,
bus boy, crafty cookie, and hungry. Was it hungry hog?
Hungry Hog pork
Hungry
sandwiches.
hog.
Yeah, it's. I'm excited. We've got those three. Plus, we announced last week, obviously, that we've got the coffee collective.
Yep.
Feel bad that I don't remember the full name of that one.
It's all good.
But so we've got four food and beverage vendors so far, and we've got two others that have signed up but haven't paid yet,
Yeah.
and we've got a number of other ones that are interested. And
So yeah, we on all cylinders, baby.
yeah, my goal is to try and get us at least 12 different food and beverage vendors.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got the space for plenty more, but
Yeah, at
my
least
goal
12.
is at least 12
Yeah.
to go along with our 50-ish vendors.
We're gonna feed everybody.
It's
you paying for it, but you know what I'm saying, we getting them there so you can pay
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Not like we feeding y'all. It's just
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
nah.
Yeah, don't listen to James.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean it that way. That's what I was saying.
So I did jump the gun a little bit. I apologize. So we might as well just get there and have our weekly couple minutes around Murphy's Inc.
Beanie.
Why do you every week? It's not James Bond.
I know. I just think every time I hear it, it reminds me of James Bond. It also reminds me of James Bond mixed with The Incredibles, and yeah, Louis Palfrey with that title song.
I will say we did give him The Incredibles
I did.
as a source of
Yeah.
inspiration. So
Yeah.
So, anyways, Murphy's Inc. is going strong. We took this last Sunday off, so there will not be a worldwide release this Sunday. I'm sorry, this Friday, and we're taking this Sunday off as well. 2
Yeah.
weeks off.
Yeah. but it's
However,
only get y'all caught up.
we do want to keep you interested, engaged, and excited. So here, right now, we can reveal the artwork for episode 9, which
Yay.
will release not this Sunday, but next Sunday. And
Yes.
the artwork, here we go. If you're ready, are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Murphy's Inc., this doggone machine. So we got a lot going on in this image. We see Gleason with the machine. He's got a wrench in hand. We see down here Daphne and the librarian. Looks like they're reading some books. We've got Michael and the interns, and then we've got Philippe and Autumn and Hart.
Yeah.
Looks like they're playing a little
Got a little got a little board
tabletop board
game.
game, and I wonder what's going on in this one. I guess we'll find out. And
Yeah.
so the quick synopses, if you will, for episode 9. Are you ready?
Let's go.
This doggone machine. With success on the last 2 missions, the team finds itself with some downtime around HQ. Michael
Not for long.
spends Michael spends some quality time with the interns, and Daphne gets brought in on Gleason's ongoing issue.
Is that it?
That is it. So yeah, I like the artwork. Shout out to Michael Leone at the Cloned Ones LLC. I'll ask you because you work on this. What are these little knobs? It looks like.
I don't know. It's just part of the machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
It's a time machine.
is this the machine's butthole?
Maybe. Or it's urethra. Maybe it pees out of that. I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So
We had no real direction on this machine. It was like, hey, make a machine, and whatever you think it looks like, and that's what he thought it looked like, and so that's what he gave me, and
Yeah.
that's what we stuck with.
So
But it could be different in the comic. We don't know.
absolutely. So talking some more about Murphy's Inc. as you referenced it or alluded to earlier with Kaboom Con, season 3 is in early writing. It's not pre
Pre-develop-
anymore because
Oh, is it not pre-development? Yeah, I guess it's in the
scripts are being written.
it's in the early stages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our writers on season 3 are hard at work. Sebastian Andrade, Ashley Dean, Tyrus Rayner.
Let me tell you, I was able to get on a call with Mark and Sebastian the other night. You want to talk about passionate writers? Sebastian is a passionate writer. He for sure he gets. I mean, he puts in. I would almost say pieces of soul into writing. Like he's intense. He's
That,
intense about what he does.
yes, agreed 100%. And
I dig
he,
that.
yeah. Well, and he always gives me more than enough to work with. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, which he was like, I don't mind. I get. Mark was saying that you gave me almost too much, so I was able to scale it down. I'd rather you. And what does Mark says? I'd rather you give me too much than too little. So
Yeah, too much than not enough.
yeah,
Yeah, so season 3 is coming along. Episode 1 of season 3 will have its world premiere at KaboomCon
yeah.
at the Murphy's Inc. panel, which will include. Yes.
Wait,
Yes.
I'm just thinking. So we're going. So we're starting. So we're going to be starting in September. Well, so no, we have the world premiere.
The world premiere is going to be at KaboomCon.
Right. So what I'm saying is that the world premiere will be at KaboomCon. So are we not going to be premiering that episode until the beginning of 20 or like in when
We'll be
when
in
is that?
24. We'll be doing season 3 next year.
So the world premiere but it won't be premiering until September. So that means it won't end until 2020, the beginning of 2025.
So if you look at the calendar and you go backwards 17 weeks. So if we start at December, the last Sunday of December is December 29th. Okay.
No, I'm talking about from so September 7th will be the world premiere, but are we premiering it the following day? Like, is it going to be released on that Sunday, so September 8th?
Yes.
And
that is 17 weeks before the end of the year. So we will run Murphy's Inc. season 3 the last 17 weeks of the year.
oh well, damn. Okay,
Yeah,
it almost seems short. Is that 17 weeks?
correct.
Holy crap! Like Yeah, dang, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's why the world premiere of season 3 is going to be at Kaboom Con. So that the next night we have the
Worldwide,
well, KNVC will get it.
KNVC wide. But if you listen
Assuming they
online,
still want us.
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure they'll still work with
I
us.
hope so.
We've got high hopes.
Calm down, Goofy. All right, let's move on. I've got some images I want to show you
What's
that
that? Show me.
I really like and have found this last week that were released by Disney. It's Disney through the generations.
Oh, wait. Okay. I dig
So,
it.
so this is the 1920s. You got
Yeah.
Oswald, Steamboat Willie. You've got the.
Oswald wasn't really there, but whatever. We won't worry about that.
I mean,
Yes, Walt created Oswald, but we traded out they traded out Michaels.
this is true.
They traded a person for a cartoon character. Amazing.
Moving on, we've got the 1930s. So Snow
Yeah.
White, Fantasia,
And I've told you, yeah, like
Bambi,
it looks like Pinocchio's up there.
Pinocchio.
Bambi. Yeah, no, like Snow White first premiered up at Hearst Castle. He didn't. Walt Disney was a friend. Well, not. I don't even know if a friend, but he brought up um Snow White to show at Hearst Castle just to kind of get what if adults would dig in a fully animated
Mm-hmm.
feature, I should say. Wait, is
Mm-hmm.
that when the first watches came out too?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. The watches been around a while.
1950s. So obviously
Mickey
Disneyland
Mouse Club,
opened in 55.
Snow White, Peter Pan. Was it Barry Poppins? Yeah, that's Dumbo ride. Uh, wait, was it the Main Street Electrical Parade around then? I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
monorail was already done there.
I believe Monorail opened in 59.
Who's that
Somebody,
bird?
I'm sure somebody out there. I can't remember the name of this bird, but it's
I swear I've
because
seen
if you
that bird
remember,
before.
Disneyland was built on citrus groves.
Yeah. Oh, is that an orange on his
Yeah.
head? Oh,
Yeah. Basically. And
okay.
his wings are leaves if you look closely. Hold on. I'll zoom in for you.
Oh yeah. Okay. So he's a little orange guy. Okay. He's a
Yeah.
little orange bird.
Yes, indeed.
Is that the first tiki room right there?
Hold on. Let me go back. This bird, you mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the original Tiki Room had the 4 birds. It's always been that way.
Okay.
Uh,
Ole, ole. Yo,
1980s.
prime Disney era.
Well,
Well,
for
no, I
us,
mean for us
because
it was prime. I mean, like, look, you got Scrooge McDuck, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and the money. Oh, the money bin. Yes, sir. That was a good time.
you've
And
got
was that Splash?
Disney Channel as well. Don't forget. You got
Yeah.
Epcot. Who? What is this character's name?
Isn't that Figment?
That is Figment. Very good.
Yeah. And that
Uh,
Epcot was that Minnie in a kimono?
yes, because Tokyo Disney opened in 1983, I believe.
Has it been that long?
That's right.
Oh man, that's crazy. What's in that hot air balloon? I see a goose.
I'm assuming this has something to do with Tokyo Disney, only because I don't know what this is.
Okay.
It looks like a crane.
Oh, is that a crane?
Yeah.
Life is like a hurricane.
That thing still slaps to this day.
Race cars, lasers, zero. You know, I will say this much. When they redid it for the new DuckTales, I was like, no, just give me the old one, and just put it on this new DuckTales. Just give me that. That don't.
Yeah, it does not slap hard enough.
No, I mean, look, one of these days I want to hear that in the club.
So this one they called 90s 2000s.
Yeah, well, because I see you got Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King, and actually, well, I mean, they're using Lion King the musical. You got ESPN and ABC. That's when they picked. That was only in the 90s. Yeah, I guess that's when, in the 90s when they picked that up. You got Toy Story, which is and Pixar, Cars, Dory, Nemo. It looks like, or is that Marlin? I can't tell. What you got? Is that Beijing Disneyland or Disneyland Beijing or
Shanghai, but
Shanghai? Yeah. And then what's is that Paris?
Yeah, that's the Paris Castle.
Okay, because I was like, that's pink. That so it has to be the Paris, and then the dragon. I was like, okay, it must be Beijing.
You got
You
the
and
Up.
the first cruise lines. Oh, is that up?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell. I saw the balloon, but I couldn't tell if that was a house attached to it. Where is where's Little Mermaid? Why is Little Mermaid not on
Well,
there?
Little Mermaid was 1989
Oh,
technically,
never
so
mind.
you would think it would have been in this one. So I don't know if that's what this. I
Well,
think you're right that this is
that's
Splash.
Splash because that's the one where with her in the tub and the
Hmm.
and the fins. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so
no,
maybe
I'm
they didn't want to do two
two
mermaids.
mermaids in one. Yeah, I get it,
I
but
would think that
that's the only
Ariel
reason.
would be more iconic, but
Yeah, but I mean, that's the fact that I even got Splash because I haven't actually watched that movie fully through. I don't. I think I saw maybe that one time fully through. Never mind.
and then of course 2010s.
Man, this I want the look. You know what? Are these released somewhere? Because I want these. I
Yeah,
would
these are
actually.
backgrounds that were released by Disney on their blog page.
I need to go get these. Actually, I want these as pictures, like on my wall. This is freaking art. So you got the MCU. Who is that? Is that Black Panther? Who is that? Black
Yep,
Panther?
you got Spider-Man,
Black
Iron
Panther,
Man,
Iron
Black
Man,
Panther.
and then you got Avatar, Way of Water. You got Grogu on there
Mhm.
with Ray and BB-8.
Mhm.
You got uh what's her name? Elsa.
Mhm.
You got the castle that they've been using in the new openings for the movies. And then you have our newest. She's not a princess, I guess, but
Did you get Pandora?
yeah, I already said that. Way of Water, Avatar.
Did you get
What is that?
Solo Free Climb? Slow. Isn't that for National Geographic?
What is there a dude on there?
Yeah, there's a dude that's like free climbing this mountain.
I can't see that.
Oh, really? Hold on.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't see that. Like our the timer and the viewers were blocking it, so I didn't see that. But no, that's cool. I like this. I'm digging it. And we got and the stuff from Wish that's going on right now. So that's
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the wishing star and what they said this film was 100 years in the making right here.
When you wish upon a star.
Have you heard Billy Joel's version of that?
I have not,
Yeah,
and now I'm gonna have to look it up.
yeah, Billy Joel has a version of When You Wish Upon a Star.
And just speaking in general of Disney 100, I don't know if you've noticed my Disney 100 train back there that's been growing.
No, I didn't even know you had that.
Hold on, let me bring it in close.
Yeah.
You vamp.
All right. Well, while he's doing that, I did crack open another drink tonight. We got that Lennon something or other, and this is their juicy peach. It's delicious.
All right. So, and the reason I really point this out today is because finally, the fifth and final piece came today. So these have been releasing like almost monthly for
Mm-hmm.
the last couple of months.
This is Funko Pop.
Yep.
Okay.
First up,
Walt.
Walt Disney on the engine,
Yeah.
and I love the art on the back.
Oh, it shows him actually driving it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Next up, what do you think it's going to be?
It has to be like Steamboat Willie or something.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah.
And of course, the art. What do you think the next one is?
The next one I would think would be Snow White. Oh, really? Interesting. Okay. Dun, 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 dun,
So now
dun,
that you know
dun,
that, what do
dun.
you think is next?
Uh, Star Wars. Hold on, hold on. See, so we did Steamboat Willie, we did Star Wars. I would think maybe like Indiana Jones or something. Oh, Spider-Man, of course. Is that
Miles
Miles
Morales?
Morales? That's actually kind of interesting because that's Sony's Spider Verse. Interesting. Okay.
Okay, knowing what you know now, so you had Disney, you had Lucasfilm,
You've had Marvel,
Marvel.
something sports related, ESPN or ABC. Oh, Pixar. Oh, that's cute. I like that. Woody on the ball.
So it is a train. The pieces do connect and are on wheels.
Yeah, but you ain't opened those boxes, so it don't matter.
No, absolutely.
What's the
Uh,
last? Was that the last one?
yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I almost
So
feel like there should be one more. I don't know.
the interesting thing about the trains is that they seem to always be five pieces. None of them are the true, like, ever seem to be a true caboose, if you will.
Yeah.
And also the way that these ones released. If you noticed, I don't know if you did, but on each of them they have a number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these ones are numbered 18 through 22,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't release in that order. It
Huh?
came out 18, 19, 20, 22, 21.
Okay.
Don't know why. I thought it was interesting. So,
Well, okay.
anyways, getting back to some fresh new content. Chris Rock, Kevin Hart, headliners only.
Rock hard.
We saw the trailer drop for the Netflix documentary about the event. I don't know if it's going to have the full
I
comedy
can,
show or.
I can only imagine that this is like they're doing this and then they're going to release the full special, or they're probably maybe they just maybe it is the full special, but they didn't say comedy special, so that's the
Yeah, it's a documentary, I think, about the two of them leading up to it. So
yeah.
I agree that likely they'll release it. What I want to know is if they're going to have it with the opening act.
Look, anything Dave Chappelle does, he better be on. So I'm sure if that's the case, like I said, I didn't realize like I had thought they when Dave Chappelle came, I thought it was just that one night, and I thought they were like, hey, we're in town. If you want to come, you're more than free to, and that's how that happened. And maybe they have that in the documentary. I don't know, but this is I'm excited to see. Like I'm a huge fan of Chris Rock. I've loved Chris Rock since Bigger and Blacker. That was like the first one that my parents allowed me to sit down and watch. And then Kevin Hart's been funny to me for since his first comedy special. So I'm interested to see. Getting tickets to both. I mean, both these guys in the same show. I mean, those tickets had to be outrageous priced.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because just to see Kevin Hart, it's been like $2, and to see I haven't looked up Chris Rock tickets due to the fact that Chris Rock hasn't been anywhere where I'm at. But like I know Kevin Hart came through Reno while I was still up there, and those tickets were like for garbage seats were like starting at $200. So. And that was it when he came. He came to GSR.
Next up, what do you think about this one? 007 Road to a Million.
Ah, man, I'm kind of mad that I didn't know
What
about
is
this.
this?
So what it looks like is that it looks like from the trailer, it looks like it's almost like an Amazing Race meets action film. Like they he said like they put these contestants in a 007 movie. So they're gonna probably be driving the dope cars, go have some crazy adventure type stuff, and
Doing
and
stunts, jumping out of helicopters,
maybe we don't know. So I mean,
fighting on a train.
that could be, you better learn. Hopefully they know some fight choreography. And it said the only person standing in their way looks like I guess he's the host of the show or whatever. So
Mhm.
so yeah.
And we got Dear Deli Jeff checking in. Good for my Lego 007 cars.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot about those. Yeah,
I've got one of those. Actually, one or two. I can't remember.
yeah. But no, it looks interesting. That's actually on Amazon Prime, so I'll actually be able to watch that one.
Faux show, faux show. Next up, Monarch Legacy of Monsters.
Again, this irritates me because it's on Apple Plus. I don't understand how they get these shows, but whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a show or is it a movie. I'm not sure because it didn't really say if it's a series or anything. But it definitely feels like it is setting up something, and you've got father and son, Kurt and Wyatt Russell.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize. I didn't even know. I knew Kurt Russell had kids. I didn't realize his son was in this. I didn't. I don't think I've ever seen Wyatt Russell.
I'm sorry, did you not watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the new Captain America.
Oh, is that him? I just didn't really look at his name. Sorry. Anyways, so I didn't look at the name. I didn't know. I was more worried about. I was more worried about Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stans. So that's all I was worried about. I didn't really care about the new Captain America, aka U.S. Agent. Anyway, but yeah, no,
And
I like.
evidently, Jeff has 40 Lego 007 cars.
He has multiples of the same thing. That's what that boils down to. But no, the Monarch. If you are unaware, if you've never seen any of newer, the newer Godzilla, King Kong movies, Godzilla versus Kong. Those Monarch is like this company that has been researching these large monsters, beasts, if you will. So interesting. I'm interested to if anybody has Apple Plus and wants to, hook a brother up real quick, so I can watch these shows, be greatly appreciated.
Agreed. Me as well, please.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get down on some Broken Skull IPA now.
Yeah.
What?
What?
What? Yeah. What?
What?
Oh yeah. I
So it
never
looks.
thought I never thought I'd like an IPA.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like out of all the stuff Stone Cold has, it's that's been my favorite so far.
So James, have you heard of Dashing Through the Snow?
I I literally saw this today when I went on Disney Plus, and I was like, I I saw it pop up. I didn't watch the trailer or anything, but I saw it pop up, and it kind of moved on, and then I was like, wait a second, is that
Don't.
ludicrous? And so I flipped back to it,
Of course
and
you have.
sure enough, Chris Bridges. And is it Lil Rel? Yeah, that is Lil Rel. Okay.
And just jumping back real quick, Bree says my husband says he can't wait to see Monarch: Legacy of Monsters.
Well, Bree, tell your husband, hook it up.
Yeah.
Let me get that password real quick.
Yeah, we want to watch it too, but we don't want to pay for Apple TV.
Exactly.
So yes, this is a new show. I had not heard of it until yesterday.
This is a new show or a new movie?
I'm not sure. Is it a movie?
I think this seemed more like a movie to me. Again, I didn't watch the trailer, so
here we go. Hold on. The original family holiday comedy, Dashing Through the Snow, starring Lil Rel Howery, Chris Ludacris Bridges, and Teyonah Parris, will debut November 17, 2023, exclusively on Disney+. Dashing Through the Snow is a hilarious and touching story about a social worker for the Atlanta Police Department. Of course, it's in Atlanta. Police Department and ATL.
ATL.
Police Department and the Christmas Eve journey with his estranged daughter that will help him to remember the joy and magic of the Yuletide season.
Okay.
Eddie Garrick, Chris Ludacris Bridges, is a good-hearted man who has turned his back on Christmas due to a traumatic childhood experience. At the request of his wife, Allison Garrick, Teyonah Parris, from whom he is separated, Eddie takes his 9-year-old daughter, Charlotte, Madison Sky Valadim, to work with him on Christmas Eve, where they meet a mysterious man in a red suit named Nick, Lil Rel Howery. Eddie, who is a social worker, thinks the man is delusional and needs professional help. But when he evokes the wrath of a local politician, Oscar Nunez, he and his daughter are taken on a magical adventure that just might restore his faith in Christmas. Dashing Through the Snow which is directed by Tim Story and written by Scott Rosenberg, is produced by John Jacobs and Will Packer, with Tim Story, Johanna Bayer, Ross Fanger, and Zach Unterman serving as executive producers. The film
Okay.
also stars Mary Lynn Rajskub, Ravi V. Patel, Gina Berlin, Kevin Connolly, and Zule Hinoy.
All right.
I don't know how many of those names I butchered, but
Whatever. It's all good. We got the
yeah,
main ones right.
sure.
Lil Rail.
And we do have some artwork or some images, some stills from this. I assume this is
Yeah.
probably at the end of the film, since that's his estranged wife that he has his arm around,
Yeah, they could be. They could be. Doing a whole co-parenting thing. It's
or
a,
like a flashback to
it's the
when they were a
holidays.
family.
Oh yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that could be it too.
There's Lil Rel.
Lil Rail on the run. I gotta go. Let me get this cookie real quick. Ho ho ho.
Ludacris does not look good there.
That's just him with his hair out. It's Christmas Eve. What does he do? What is his job again? He works for the PD.
I don't know.
It's a hard night, man.
It's a hard knock life. So before we jump into the next thing, you had posted something: the 100 worst films of all time,
Yo,
according to Rotten Tomatoes.
yeah, so I was looking through deals on movies everywhere. They had a whole bunch of deals going on this past week, and I think they're probably still going on. I didn't really check, but one of them was for Street Fighter, Chung Li, something I don't remember the full title, but it was a Street Fighter movie that Kristen Kirk starred in, and it was a 3. Like I was like, yo, a 3? I don't ever think I've seen a 3 on any of these. Then so that prompted me to go on to Google, and like I said, I asked Google what were the lowest rated Rotten Tomatoes Rotten Tomato scores, and they gave me a list of 100. So
So let's take a look, shall we?
I posted it, and like number one was
No. Please don't start with number one. You're killing me.
It started at number one. That's why.
I know. I'm smart. I went to number 100.
Oh, okay.
So at number 100, with a whopping 4%, A Low Down Dirty Shame.
That is a lie. That movie is amazing. I love that movie.
Of course, you would say that. Starring Keenan Ivory Wayans, Charles
Keenan Ivory Wayans,
Jada Pinkett Smith.
That was she was just Jada Pinkett at the time. She wasn't married to Will Smith at the time. Anyways, but no, I love that movie. Like I saw that movie in theaters, and then when it came on cable, I recorded it and I watched that movie multiple times after.
This was at the height about the height of In Living Color. So Keenan Ivory Wayans had that money to be able to make movies.
Yeah, the Wayans brothers, and pretty much again in that movie he had pretty much the entire family.
Naturally. And we'll see a number of Wayans brothers related films in this list, by the way. 99 Cold Light of Day, never heard of it, haven't seen it. In the Name of the King, I'm going to blow through a lot of these. We'll stop if you want to stop.
Was that Scary Movie?
Scary Movie 5. I didn't realize there were that many.
That shouldn't have been that many.
This one surprises me. Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
That doesn't surprise me, but that movie wasn't as like definitely wasn't the first one. Like the first one I liked. The second one I was a little disappointed by.
So here's what surprises me is I thought the first one was pretty bad too.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. The first one wasn't great, but it was definitely like that was the first time we had seen like some of those characters in like we were like Goro and Reptile and stuff like that. We first got to see them in that film, and so that was cool.
Material Girls, A Little Bit of Heaven, Darkness.
Was that Zoom? Is that Zoom with
Tim Allen?
Tim Allen, the super school for superheroes.
That's right, at 91.
Yo, I like that film.
The Fog.
Yeah, that was booty.
The Covenant.
Interesting.
Speed 2.
Shouldn't have been made.
Flatliners.
Okay.
Codename The Cleaner.
Oh, that was a Cedric the Entertainer. Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know why I never saw that movie, but maybe because
Well, probably because it got 4%.
I didn't even realize that.
Movie 43.
That
This is,
movie took forever for it to come out.
and you think that's why it scored so
Good.
poorly?
I mean, it had a lot of people in it, but it just I guess it just didn't turn out well.
Vampires Suck. Of course, another knockoff of,
Oh, is that another like
Twilight.
not another teen movie type deal?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Playing for Keeps. No
Okay.
clue. Serving Sarah.
I've
Matthew Perry's poor attempt at a film career.
Yeah, well, after Friends, there's not much you can do.
The Whole 10 Yards.
Yeah, that
Bruce
was the
Willis.
sequel. That was a sequel to the whole 9 yards, and
And again, Matthew Perry.
well, he did the first a whole 9 yards was actually pretty. He did okay in that one, but
Uh huh. Sure. Let's go with that. Godsend. Never heard of it. Because I said so. No clue.
that was a mother daughter. That was one of those mother daughter type films. It's yeah,
Sure. Shadow Conspiracy. The Toy. This one's disappointing because you've got the fabulous Richard Pryor and Jackie Gleason.
interesting,
Um, and directed by Richard Donner.
interesting.
12. No clue. Starring 50 Cent. There we go. That's why. Okay. Arsenal. McHale's Navy,
Was
which
that the
was
remake?
so that McHale's Navy was a comedy television series
Yeah,
that they made a movie off of, starring Tom Arnold and Tim Curry,
I remember that.
and they forgot to bring the funny.
Oh, no,
Getting Even with Dad,
was that it?
Macaulay Culkin,
Oh
and
wow,
Ted Danson. Ted Danson was at the height of, like,
Cheers and stuff at that point.
well,
Yeah,
Cheers, Three Men and a Baby,
baby.
and
Yeah. So they thought maybe
of
adding
course
him.
Macaulay Culkin was still pretty hot from the Home Alone stuff.
Yeah, if let's take him and put them. Let's put both of them together. They'll be a good duo. Didn't work
Yeah,
out.
not so much. Passion Play, never heard of it. The Darkness, never heard of it. Is that a sequel to Darkness? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Deal looks like a show or a movie based on gaming.
Yeah.
Bucky Larson, Born to Be a Star, no clue.
Is that
Here,
who's in that one?
Nick Swardson.
Yeah,
We Are
I
Reaching,
remember. Yeah, I do remember that. I remember it coming out, but I didn't. I was like,
directed by Tom Brady.
it's another Tom Brady.
Okay.
So yeah.
Here, this next one actually is a recent one that came out this year. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah, that was like this. So there was this weird thing that happened when the rights for some of this stuff started coming up. People were coming out of the woodworks with these movies, and that's Winnie the Pooh was one of them. And I heard about this, but I was like, that sounds horrible.
Down to You, no clue. House of the Dead.
Rob Zombie?
No, Yui Bowl.
No, I'm talking about Rob Zombie directed.
I just told you what the director's name was.
Oh,
The Apparition.
okay.
Mod Squad, which of course was taking a
Okay, I do
television
remember
series, and
Intern. Yeah, that was during that time when they were taking television. I enjoyed that one.
of course you did because you really like Claire Danes.
No, I was actually it was more of a Omar Epps.
Of course, you are such a racist. Deuces Wild. The Roommate.
Okay.
Half Past Dead.
Uh-huh.
Starring Steven Seagal.
Yeah, of course, because that's why it was so bad.
Fear.com.
I do remember hearing about that. I remember that movie came out, but yeah, I didn't see it. I'm not a
Get,
horror movie fan. So
Getaway. Bless the Child. Jack and Jill. Adam Sandler.
oh yeah, we played both his. Is that where he played both?
Yes, he played Jack and Jill. That's
Yeah.
correct. Rollerball.
I remember that film. That was huge for on. They showed a lot of that on MTV.
Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, I never. Oh, I did remember. Oh, that was an awful movie.
The Haunting of Molly Hartley.
Okay.
Nina.
Uh-huh.
Kicking It Old School.
All right.
Baby Geniuses. And by the way, we're now in the 2% range.
Okay.
Jeff asked the original or the remake. I'm not sure. Are you talking about The Haunting of Molly Hartley? I don't. Oh, on
On
Rollerball.
Rollerball. That was the 2000 something.
2002. So I
Yeah,
don't.
that had like LL Cool J and Lil Bow Wow and
Rebecca Romaine.
yeah,
Let's see. Strange Wilderness. King's Ransom.
I do remember that.
Meet the Spartans
Yeah, that was another remake of the like the
of 300.
yeah, it was like that whole. There was no company that really took credit for all those.
Texas Rangers. One for the Money.
Is that who is that?
Katherine Heigl.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that, but I was not a fan of Katherine Heigl at that point in time, anyways.
The In Crowd.
Okay.
Crossover. Looks like a
Mhm.
basketball film. You
Okay.
must have seen it, right?
No, I didn't see that one.
Okay. Epic Movie, which of course is another
Yeah.
satire of other films.
Right.
Twisted. Disaster Movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Another.
now we're at 1%.
Okay.
So we're coming up to the top 40. Daddy Day Camp, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh yeah, no. Daddy Daycare was funny. Daddy Day Camp I didn't see, but I was like, no, you can't. It's not the same.
The Master of Disguise. Now this is the first film on this list that
Want to be the master of disguise.
I can remember actually watching, and I'm usually a huge fan of Dana Carvey. I found this film to be extremely disappointing.
Okay. I always wanted to see it, but I'm glad I kind of missed it at this point.
Alone in the Dark. Simon Says with Dennis Rodman.
Jeez.
Stolen. Oh, by the way, we're at 0% now.
Jeez.
So I'm confused. So you start with Simon Says at 0%. So the top 37 films are all 0%. To be clear, there is no negatives.
Yeah.
So what I'd love to find out is how they ranked the worst 37, because if they're all 0.
Yeah. How did you get the? Yeah. Anyway.
Moving on, we've got Stolen, Constellation, Folks, Dark Tide, Halle Berry.
Oh, that's sad.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, yeah, you just hot for her.
Halle Berry.
Transylmania.
Oh, that sounds stupid.
Mercy d'Arthur Ray.
Nah.
Killing Me Softly.
Okay.
Max Steel. This is a comic book film.
Yeah, that was yeah. This didn't turn out well at all, I'm sure.
Precious Cargo.
Okay.
Another Bruce Willis film on this list, starring top billed Mark Paul Gosselaar, also known as
Zach Morris, baby.
Bolero, starring Bo Derek. Homecoming. Highlander 2.
It was Homecoming. It looks like one of those high school thrasher movies.
Highlander 2. The problem here was the premise of Highlander is that there can be only one.
Yeah.
And so you really can't have two. And also disappointing here.
Hey, was that the one? Hey, was that? Hold on. Highlander 2? Was that the one with what's that dude's name?
Sean Connery?
No. Mario Van Peebles?
He's not listed as the starring, okay. So.
Because then I saw a Highlander with Mario Van Peebles in it.
Look Who's Talking Now, because Look Who's Talking and Look Who's Talking 2 needed a threequel.
Yeah, of course. It needed the third with the dogs.
Staying Alive, the sequel to...
What was it? Bruce Willis, Roseanne?
What?
And who are the... It was...
Can you not read the screen? It says John Travolta, Kirstie Alley.
No, I'm talking about the voices of the babies.
Oh, I don't know. The next top billed are David Gallagher and Tabitha Lupien.
No, because I swear Bruce Willis was like the voice of Mikey or something like that.
I don't know. Next up, Staying Alive at number 23, which is the sequel to Saturday Night Fever. Oh. Most people don't know about that.
Yeah.
Red Line, looks like a race film.
Yeah.
The Disappointments Room.
Yeah, obviously it was disappointing because it got 0.
3 Strikes.
Baseball movie.
E40 was in this.
Oh, that's probably why it was awful.
Let's see. Synopsis. Rob Douglas is just released from jail. The state adopts a three strikes rule for felons. And there's more, but I don't care enough.
Yeah.
Cabin Fever,
Huh. Interesting.
Problem Child. So this is one that I can remember in my youth. This came out in 1990. I remember seeing this film, and I
I
liked
like
it
that film.
as a kid. I really liked it.
Yeah.
So this was, of course, starring John Ritter,
Yeah.
and I don't know, and Gilbert Godfrey was like
Yeah.
the villain. I mean,
Gilbert
the kid
Godfrey
was
was
the
like
villain, but
no, the kid wasn't. He was more of an anti-villain, but Gilbert Godfrey was like the one who ran the orphanage or something like
mhm,
that. And yeah, I actually and then there was Problem Child 2, which
mhm,
he met. There was another girl that was just his
mhm,
equal, and they teamed up.
mhm.
And Gilbert Godfrey was the principal in that film.
Yeah, I do not understand how this is the 18th worst film of all time.
Yeah, because I enjoyed that film.
Yeah,
I don't. Maybe it
wagons.
doesn't. I don't. Maybe if maybe it doesn't stand. Does it still stand up? I haven't seen it
I don't know.
since I was young. So.
Wagons East. This one
Oh,
was surprising
the
as well.
last movie with John Candy.
That's right. John Candy, Richard Lewis, John C. McGinley. I didn't love this film. I remember seeing this one as well. I remember when it came out because I rented it from Blockbuster. Uh, and yeah, it wasn't great, but I don't know that I would.
This is a
Maybe in the
zero.
top 100, but I don't know if it should be a zero.
Yeah,
Return to the Blue Lagoon, obviously a sequel.
yeah. You didn't need to return. The first one was fun.
The Nutcracker, 2010. Didn't see it. Wasn't aware.
Which one? I mean, no.
This starred Ellie Fanning, Nathan Lane.
Oh, I do remember that, but I don't remember. Yeah, I never saw it, so I do remember it. But
London Fields.
no.
Stratton.
Mm-mm.
Dark Crimes,
Mm-mm.
starring Jim Carrey.
Oh, interesting.
Jim Carrey trying to do something psychological.
Well, I mean, he's done a couple of those, but
This next one's surprising as well, considering it was some of that Netflix money. The Ridiculous Six, 2015, starring Adam Sandler, Will Forte, Taylor Lautner, Steve Buscemi,
interesting.
Owen Wilson. Yeah, I didn't watch this,
Yeah, and
but
I thought it
okay.
was. I mean, they put a lot of money behind. I mean, I know the advertising. I remember the advertising for it.
Mm-hmm. So that's number 11. So now we're moving into the top
Top
10
10.
worst films of all time,
All right,
according to Rotten Tomatoes.
you're right.
Jaws, The Revenge.
Okay, and I saw all those films, all the Jaws films, and that wasn't a
This
huge fan.
this
But
one had Mario Van Peebles.
yeah, no, I'm just saying none of the Jaws films were like nah. After the original, I was like, meh.
At number 9, The Last Days of American Crime.
Oh, all right.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
At number 8, Gold Diggers,
What's that one?
starring Will Friedle from Boy Meets World.
Interesting.
Never heard of this. Calvin and Leonard, two broke losers, are arrested for trying to rob rich old sisters. Number 7, Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2.
Oh, Baby Geniuses were on this list. I do remember Baby Geniuses, and I remember it being not so bad.
But did you see Super Baby Geniuses 2?
No.
Pinocchio, 2002.
Was that the not Benicio del Toro?
Roberto Benigni.
Bedini. Yeah, that's yeah. I remember that one. I never saw it, but I
And
heard
now at number 5, Gotti,
Gotti.
starring John
John
Travolta.
Travolta?
This is like his 4th film on this list, by the
Every
way.
once in a while. Every once. Battlefield Earth was not good, and I think it went downhill after that.
And
I don't think
forget Saturday Night Fever.
I don't think he redeemed himself. Oh yes, I don't remember. I don't think he redeemed himself until like after Hairspray.
How about Face Off?
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I
Or
mean,
Broken Arrow?
but those were before Battlefield Earth.
That's true. Next up at number 4, 1,000 Words. How do you take Eddie Murphy and make him mute, basically. That's how you get number four.
You give him 1,000 words.
Huh?
He
No,
only
no.
can say a
It's
thousand.
the title is ironic. He loses his ability to speak.
Oh, interesting.
Number three. I loved these books as a kid. Left Behind, starring Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it did. They just didn't translate like at least the first film. I know they made more, but the first film, which is supposed to be like major release, they did. I think they rebooted it after that and did like VHS releases, and those were with Kirk Cameron from Growing Pains
VHSs in 2014.
or DVDs, whatever. They went or
How old are you?
what?
You are old.
You're old. You remember all these too, but I remember Left Behind was theatrically released, and it was like a big deal because of of the books. But um, I it just it wasn't received. I remember watching it, and it was just like meh. And then like I know they redid, and I think they redid them with like I said like Kirk Cameron, and they were straight to they didn't come out in theaters. They went straight to video or whatever. And I think they released all of them or most of them at least before they decided to cut their losses. But
Coming in at number two, One Missed Call.
was that? I remember. I think I remember hearing about this one, but I don't remember.
When Beth Raymond witnesses the deaths of two friends, she knows there is more at work than just.
Yeah, that's why probably.
Are you ready?
I know number one,
Number one, worst
Ballistic.
movie. Why do you suck so hard?
I'm
Like
just saying. I don't understand how this movie was number one. I remember watching this movie in theaters, and I dug it.
X verse Sever, Antonio Banderas, Lucy Liu,
Yeah,
Frank Henry, Ray Park,
yeah.
also known as Darth Maul.
That's what I'm saying.
Uh,
Ballistic.
a startling inept film, Ballistic X vs. Sever, offers overblown wall-to-wall action without a hint of wit, coherence, style, or originality.
It was all action. It's all it needed to be.
And of course, you loved this film.
I mean, not. I'm not saying I loved it, but I remember seeing it in theaters and I dug it mostly because like I was really into Lucy Liu and I loved Antonio Banderas.
Hmm, hmm,
Antonio Banderas became one of my favorites after Desperado.
hmm,
Like I remember seeing that movie at the drive-in, bro, at the
hmm.
drive-in, and I was like, "Yo, this is money."
So the worst film, according to Rotten Tomatoes, is one that you actually very much enjoy.
Yeah, when I saw that at number one, I was like, "What?" And I agree with you. They should have started at 100 and make me work to that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
well, yeah, it makes no sense that you would start right away with the worst film
yeah, that's
because
what I'm saying. I don't
what?
understand why you started at number one. Like you should have started at number 100. But
Yeah, I, very
whatever.
weird. So going from the worst films, we talked about this last week because we got the art, but now we had the official trailer
Yeah.
for the Santa Clauses season two. What did you think seeing the trailer?
I'm okay with it. When we first talked about it, I was like, I don't know. But seeing the trailer, I'm kind of interested. You know, the Mad Santa, and you got Tim Allen, you got everybody, you got the main cast again, and then you got Fluffy, aka Gabriel Iglesias. You got uh, what's his name? I'm Brian Fellows.
Tracy Morgan.
Morgan. Yeah, so and then it's like the original, it's like the cast from season one, so that's cool. I dig it. So I'm interested to see where this goes. If they even make reference to season one or whatnot.
We got the official trailer for Squid Games, the survival
The
series.
challenge.
Yes, it is a. I would never agree to do this show. like if I had had the opportunity, and I get that it's a huge prize, $4.56 million.
Mhm.
But there's no way. Just because before you go to do this show, I'm sure they tell you, "Oh yeah, no, we're not going to actually kill you." I don't know. I don't know if I'm willing to run that risk.
Well, I mean, sure. Listen, the thing is that they can't. They wouldn't legally be. I mean, yeah, the show itself, they had to know this was a game show going into it. I'm sure it was something when they signed up. They said it was a game show, and they said that like yeah, it was basically the or the TV series. But yeah, they can't. They wouldn't be able to kill you.
I mean, you don't know that this was filmed in America. You don't know that they didn't take these people to some uncharted like island out in the middle of like the
That's
Atlantic or something.
that's true. But at the same
I'm
time,
just saying I would not risk it. There is no way. I don't care what amount of money. If you said, "Hey, we're making Squid Games the survival series," uh, there's going to be a $4.56 million cash prize for
yeah,
one winner. You want to go?
yeah. No, I've been like, I don't know. Doubtful. I think about.
Yeah, because $4.56 million is a lot more than 456 million of the money they gave out. And Brian says that snuff films are still illegal here in the U.S. That's true, but also, uh,
Here in the U.S., that's funny.
well, that's one, right? But two, uh, how do you know that it's legitimate at the time? Like, how do you know when you go into a studio and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna make a remake or a knockoff of.
I'm sure they had people like, "Yo, wait, are you gonna try and kill me?" And then they were like, "Oh, of course not, no." Like that would have been like, I'm out." But like, of course we're not gonna kill you. But
I don't know, man. If it was filmed, and I don't know where it was filmed, but if it was filmed in the U.S., maybe it's a little bit more safe.
so I'm thinking it was probably filmed out. It had to. It was one of those things that looked like it was filmed in the U.S.
I don't know.
and they just remade the sets and stuff.
You ready to talk about episode 3 of Loki season 2?
This show is like, oh man, I season 3 or season 2, episode 3 was one I was kind of like, wait, what? What is what? There was a lot going on in this episode, but I got it. It was good.
I love the.
Victor Timely, his voice, the way he acted that character, I was not thrilled with. I
I,
got it.
I think this man is going to win an Emmy for that.
He was
He
like,
was great. I don't get me wrong. Like this is not my favorite episode of this series. Of the 9 episodes that we've had so far in this series, it is not my favorite.
no, but this is where this is so this is the episode that we last saw in I think it was Quantum Mania, correct?
No,
Further back. What was it? Oh no, at the end of Quantum Mania was the
all the Kangs in the
all the
arena.
Kangs in the arena. Yeah. What was it before that?
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Is it Thor: Love and Thunder? Okay. Yeah, because I remember. Yeah, because I remember seeing this was the scene, the scene of them in the theater.
There were at least 2 at Thor: Love and Thunder. There was this scene, and then there was the Hercules scene.
No, I think Hercules was Love and Thunder. Oh,
They both were. There were multiple.
they were both in there.
Yes.
Oh. Anyways, yeah, because this is one I remember because I remember. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Loki. But yeah, this was the episode that was featured in the end credits, and yeah, no, man, it was there was a lot going on. So I'm interested to see where this goes with you know uh yeah, glow clock. That was great. That was great. Yeah, that was the Miss Minute was a little like, "Yo, I need you to calm down, girl."
June
Yeah,
23rd, 1893.
Yeah, that was very interesting, and that was very interesting because they did make it a little timely. What do you know about this boy? And I was like, oh, oh man, but no, it was a good episode. Seeing the World's Fair was kind of seeing this interpretation of the World's Fair in Chicago was very interesting.
Absolutely. Going back to Jonathan Majors, I don't know if you saw that it was released that his ex girlfriend or whatever is now being charged for actually assaulting him, and she was turning herself in. So
Oh, maybe we're saved.
yeah, so
But again, that like the just the damage that was done to his reputation because of it is it's sad.
and Tyrus checking in, kind of happy Marvel stuck with Jonathan Majors. I know, understand all of these personalities because he that remains from Loki season one wasn't my favorite. Uh,
I enjoyed him. I think he was. I liked that character that he played. Just the like I'm here and like type deal. I really dug that.
Well, and this is where I come back to. I think this man is going to win an Emmy or an Oscar at some point in the very near future, and for Marvel, because they are really letting him. Like as an actor, I'm jealous that he's getting to do. Like this is three different characters he's gotten to portray in three major ways.
And they're they're all very different from each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're the same character, but they're all so different. Like you had He Who Remains, who was very stoic in manner, um, and but like knew like he was very confident in who he was and that he where he was assigned. It was his place in time. You had Kang the Conqueror in Quantumania, who was just he was kind of maniacal, and then you have this episode where this character he is almost he's almost bumbling, just very
I think the character is on the spectrum for sure.
with
Like
the stutter and the just the kind of the it threw me because I was like, why is he talking like that? But it's one of those things where it's like, oh, he is not the most confident person, but he has all this info that he shouldn't have. And so he's kind of making up for it, trying to be the showman. And yeah, so I was like, man, this is crazy.
yeah,
Again,
I
same character, three different ways. Like that, you don't get that.
yeah, not one of my favorite episodes again. I felt like there was way too much hijinks and I felt like it was trying to be a little comedic unnecessarily. I didn't think it needed to be.
There was definitely a lot going on in this episode.
But overall, I am very much enjoying this season to date. I really want to see we leave here with Renslayer and Sylvie.
Sylvie.
We don't know what the outcome is going to be there yet. And
She
I
said
love how
that.
this is basically the prototype.
Yeah,
Uh,
the wand.
yeah.
Oh, there it is. Hold on one sec. Sorry.
So ultimately, I felt like this was a pretty strong, pretty solid episode. Again, bro,
Sorry. I
you're
said I
killing
was.
me.
I thought I had my other. I thought I had my other bottle opener up here, but I apparently didn't. So I had to get my keys. There we go.
So, anyways, I'm enjoying the series. Looking forward to episode 4 tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's so sad to know that after tomorrow we'll be 2/3 of the way through the season.
How many? How many is this one?
6,
Dang. They make these so short.
but it keeps you coming back.
That's true. It does make it keeps you going.
So James, anything fun or exciting? I know that you recently, and I don't think we talked about this last week. You recently joined a little chorus.
Yep. Yeah. So so apparently there's a well apparently because I'm in it now, but there's a TSA course, and so um yeah we had a practice yesterday. Um, our first big our well not my first big event with them. I guess they did something. a while back, but um, is going to be Veterans Day. We'll be doing the national anthem, the themes. The
So you mean Friday, 2 days from now?
no. This is not Veterans Day. Is not till next month.
Oh, that's right, November 10th.
Yeah. So actually, and so the actual day falls on a Saturday. So it's being observed on the Friday, but we're actually doing our performance on the Thursday. Uh, I don't know. But we're doing national anthem, the I was gonna say the hymns, but and they're not the like the marching songs for each of the branches. So the
Battle
army,
hit, battle hymn for the Republic.
the army, the navy, the marines, the air force, and the coast guard. So we'll be doing
Not the
those.
Merchant Marines.
I don't know what that is.
That's one of the big six, the Merchant Marines, man.
Well, no, I mean I don't know because it's not we're all I know is that we're doing those are the ones for the branches. And actually, the funny part was is that like even like because I had hearing the tunes and seeing the words, I was like, oh, I know these tunes, but I actually never knew the words. So I was like, okay. Um, And then I see, yeah, video didn't happen, James. Okay, well, we'll see. I don't know how that all works. And then so we have the national anthem, those five songs, and then or God bless the USA.
Hmm.
So those are the six songs that we should be performing on Veterans Day.
Any solos?
No, not. I mean, I just literally just joined.
So low we can't hear you.
Yeah, there's a couple points where I'm just like, man, I'm learning these, and so she's like, oh, we need, like, oh, you're gonna sing tenor, and I'm like, bro, what? I don't do tenor,
Mm.
and so there's a couple points when I have to like switch into head voice, and that is not fun, but I'll get it down. I'll be ready.
Interesting.
Yeah. What are you up to? Got anything going on?
Ah, man,
I mean,
I
besides the stuff that we talked about personally today,
so today
a
uh
day.
was a day. It wasn't so bad necessarily for me, but my wife got rear-ended today after work.
That's no fun.
Yeah, that is no fun indeed. I mean, she seems to be okay. She, obviously a bit shaken up, understandably so.
Of course.
Luckily, not at fault.
Because that woman doesn't like that one is one of the most cautious drivers I've ever seen in my life. Like
there,
she is super cautious driving.
there is a reason I drive 95+% of the time when we're together.
Yeah, because I rode with her, or did I drive or did she drive? I think she drove, and I was just like, ah. I love you, Jenny.
Tyrus has a question.
No Space Force anthem. If there is one, we don't have it. Or
There is one.
yeah, we don't we. I think it should be Space, the Final Frontier. These are the voyages of the Hush
So for the Air Force, you didn't realize that. Here we go into the wild
No,
blue
that's the thing.
yonder.
That's the thing. I saw those words and I was like, I know this. Like I just did. Like I didn't know the rest of the words.
Hmm.
Like I knew here we go into the wild blue yonder. I knew what
Over hill, over there.
I yeah, that's what I'm saying. I knew there was a couple of the themes that I had heard, and I was just like, oh, I just never realized that these from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. I did not realize those were those songs. I had heard those themes and stuff like that, but and I'd heard some of the words, but I didn't understand everything. And so now seeing the words and everything, it was like, oh, okay, makes sense. I got it.
And Brian is saying maybe Tyrus was referencing the television show that was on Netflix,
Which one? What?
the Space Force television show that was on Netflix,
Oh,
starring
maybe.
Steve Carell.
I forgot about that. Yeah, no, I watched like one episode of that, and I was like, Maybe I'll come back to this, and I don't think I ever did.
And Jenny says, way to kick her when she's already had a bad day.
I wasn't trying to kick her. I was just saying you were a cautious driver, so the fact that well, like you weren't at fault, so I know that
No, there's nothing you can do when you're at a complete stop and somebody just decides
Yeah,
to
no,
drive
that's
in
what I'm
your
saying.
backside.
Like that's what I'm saying. I don't. I know she would. It wouldn't be her fault because I know she's like I said. She's one of the most cautious drivers I've ever met. So it was actually a compliment to you.
But yeah, so I mentioned last week I started a new job last week.
Hey, do you want me to buy you a bag of these and hold on to them for you?
No, thank you. No.
I knew you'd say no. I was just playing. Anyway.
Speaking of which, we are going to be seeing each other very soon.
Yeah. I was like,
you,
when? Yeah, no, next month.
Yeah, you're correct me if I'm wrong, but so we are just putting it out there, going to Disneyland. We will be I will be getting into town before you. You will be arriving into town on the
early Tuesday morning because I work Monday.
Yeah, so you're gonna get okay. So yeah, you're gonna get into
As
town
soon as I get
4
off,
a.m. ish.
Yeah, so as soon as I get off, I'll be driving straight down.
So you'll get into town on the 14th, early in the morning, and so we'll be doing Disneyland, California Adventure, Disneyland.
Yeah,
those 3 days: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now, here's something I found out that really, frankly, pissed me off.
What's that?
So the first day that I'm going to California Adventure, you're not going to be there.
Right.
The park, and actually, my wife is actually hearing this for the first time. You okay? You coughing up blood over there now?
No, I just like I said, that dust is spicy, and that hit the back of my throat.
Gotcha. So my wife is hearing this for the first time, but California Adventure, my first day there, is only open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
That didn't say anything about that on the website.
It sure does.
Oh, maybe I just didn't look at it correctly when I was looking at it. Why is that?
Yeah. Probably a private party, or they might be doing filming for the holiday special. Or
yo, screw that noise. Let me, I deserve to be there.
Yeah, try and get me out at 5. And the other frustrating part about that was the day I was planning to do the meal and see World of Color that night.
Yeah.
So now I had to change it to a Thursday.
Is that canceled?
When are they going to do World of Color? At 5 p.m.?
I mean, it'll be getting dark around then, won't
it? They do them at night. It's a nighttime spectacular.
I just don't understand why they would.
Can you stop with the bag by the microphone, please?
What? Sorry, just being a dick. Yeah, no, but I don't understand. I just don't understand why they'd be closing at 5. I just I don't know. I mean, it could be a private party or something, but I don't know. That just seems a little weird.
If they're closing at 5, the park won't be cleared until 6:30.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. And I mean, but if you made but they allowed you to make those reservations.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's weird to me that they allowed you to make those reservations if they weren't.
At the time I made the reservations, the park hours were listed as normal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's okay. See, that's what I'm saying is that when I remember when I looked at it and it was normal park hours, and then I mean, I guess they can do it. You got to
remember, park hours are always subject to change.
Yeah, but I think if you were able to make those reservations, they should still honor those reservations. Honestly,
I mean, I believe that they should have at the very least notified me as a person who had a reservation for California Adventure.
Hey, by the way, just so you know, we're going to be closing early that day. Would you like to move it to another day?
Mm-hmm.
Here we'll give you a couple options to move. Here's a couple options that you can move it to. Would you like to move it to your next day? Because they see all that stuff. So would you like to move it to the Thursday? Would you like to move it to whenever? Yeah.
Instead of me going and figuring it out for myself. That's a little disappointing.
That would have been even more annoying if you didn't know, and you get there and they're like, "Oh, by the way, we're closing at this time." You're like, "Yo, wait, what? Like I had a reservation at, at this time for this spot.
Hmm.
What's the deal?" So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 9 hours is still a lot of time to get a lot of stuff done at
Yeah.
California Adventure.
I mean, like I did well, of course I did a California adventure on my own. So when I did it on my own, I finished that park within I did it a few hours. So and so, I mean, like I'm talking about rides, shows included, but that's also before Cars Land was a thing. So
Well, yeah, and when you're by yourself, you can do single rider on a
yeah,
number of the rides.
yeah, that's a oh my god, that's a brilliant thing. We use single rider when we were together,
Hmm.
just because we can get on the ride faster.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. I enjoy going on rides together. Like for sure. Like I like to do roller coasters together, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'd rather just get on the ride fast.
The Bree says the Oogie Boogie Bash starts at 1800. If you don't have tickets for the Oogie Boogie Bash, you have to get out. Oh, is
Oogie
that?
Boogie Bashes finish in October. They don't go into November.
Yeah,
So
I thought
that's
that ended on.
and
I thought that
usually
ended on Halloween,
it does. And usually
and
the
I think
Oogie
that's
Boogie
only in the park,
Bashes
the
are usually
Disneyland.
at Disneyland,
Yeah,
not at
Disneyland. Not
California Adventure.
yeah. Interesting.
But yes, I mean there could have been some kind of event like that, or if you try to go in like May or June,
They have
usually
grad
there's
night.
grad nights, things
Yeah,
like that.
which was weird because like I remember when I would have been kind of heated if we went to Grand Night. It was on like California Adventure. Not gonna lie. I mean, California actually. Weird story. I don't even think California Adventure was open when I went for Grand Night, or it might have been. Was it open in 2000?
Uh, California Adventure opened in 2001.
Yeah, so it wasn't even open. I remember they were working on it. So yeah, so
No, unfortunately, Bree. I wish we were time travelers and could go back in time, but
going back in time.
and actually now I'm gonna
Tyrus,
check.
have a good rest of your shift, brother.
Yes, California Adventure opened on February 8th, 2001. And
Yeah,
the reason I was pretty certain it was 2001 is because I went for the first time. That was my senior year of high school.
yeah,
And I was with the show choirs,
choir. Yeah,
and we went down to perform at Disneyland.
right,
And it was my first time getting to go to California Adventure because it had just opened a couple months earlier.
right. Yeah, so I remember. Yeah, because I remember because when we went, there was a lot more. There was a lot more trees outside. And then I remember, yeah, going in and just to Disneyland, and that was a great time. I mean, when you fill a park with just seniors, it's this weird kind of vibe.
Well,
Um,
because most of them are using walkers or like really hobbling to get around.
Stupid. I don't party with those kind of seniors, not yet, at
Oh,
least.
you're
Well,
you're
I see
getting
I see a lot of them at work though. I see a
and you're
lot of them.
getting there, friend.
Yeah, we're soon enough. I'll take my time.
You'll be there
Um,
before me.
like a year. Oh no. Um, but no, I mean, it's really like grad night. I remember when we went with your parents that one time.
Mm.
Grad night was going on at California Adventure, so we went back to Disneyland. But it was like, dang, I'd have been kind of heated if it was only California
No,
Adventure.
no, no. When you and I went with my folks, that was the 24-hour night. That was when the park was open 24 hours.
No, but I thought I thought it was. I know. I thought, oh, were both parks? Because I remember one of those parks was like, I remember California Adventure or something. There was going on, like they had a grad night thing going on or something over there,
So,
or
if I
maybe
re-
part of it
one of
was
the
blocked
parks
off.
closed. I can't remember which one. One
I
of the
thought it was
parks
California
closed.
Adventure, and so we went over to Disneyland the rest of the night.
Yeah, but it was 24 hours. So
Yeah, I do
California
remember.
Adventure closed at normal time, and then we went for the rest of the. And
Yeah,
I mean, we only went till like 3 or 4 in the morning. We didn't go.
yeah, we didn't go like all night. Like we were talking about doing that, and then we were like, nah,
We're too old.
no, we weren't even too old. We were still like late, early. No, we were 20s. We were in our 20s at that point.
No, man. It was 10 years ago.
Huh?
It was 10 years ago.
Nah.
Yes. You were 31, friend.
What?
Yeah, it was like June, May or June of 2013.
Oh, wait. Because oh, that's right. Because I was still at FedEx. Or
Hmm.
no, I was still at no, I wasn't at FedEx yet. I was still at Red Robin.
You were just about to come over. And the reason that I know this is because it was just before I met my future wife. And Brian,
Damn, was that
when
even?
I was a chaperone for grad night in the mid
Jesus
2000s,
Christ! You were
was
a
only beginning.
chaperone?
Of course he was. He liked to hang out with the 16, 17, 18-year-olds.
Cheapers. It was
Uh,
only DS for yeah. So I'm saying the year so the mid 2000s, yeah, they might have been, but I know that when we went, they said something about grad night, and it was at California Adventure, but it was on. And the weird part was it wasn't all of California Adventure; it was a section of California Adventure. Where as in the like when I went for grad night in 2000, um, it was like the entire Disneyland resort, and they had like different clubs set up all over the park.
I know for me, when I went to grad night, we didn't have the entire park. Toontown was closed. Um, Actually, I think Toontown and Fantasyland were closed.
Oh no, I
So we
remember
had
those
we
being
had to
open.
we had Tomorrowland, we had
Hmm.
Adventureland,
Right.
Splash Mountain
Maybe
all
it's on
throughout
the
there.
outs. Maybe it's just the outsides. I don't know. But all I know is that I remember there was different music being played in each of those. They had like different clubs set up in each of those places, and ran into it was kind of cool because I ran into people that I knew from other high schools after from doing DECA and all that kind of stuff. So it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun that night.
What is DECA?
Let, let's not go there. They can watch they can watch the old videos for that. Good times. All
What
right,
is DECA?
told you. I think like it's been so long since even then is I believe it. I remember it was when I was in it. I remember it said DECA marketing and merchandising. That was the main thing on it. I don't.
So does DECA stand for something?
Apparently it does, but we never got into that. Like I remember asking about that, and I was like, never mind. I'm not really worried about it.
So you didn't think it was weird that you were in a club called DECA but didn't know what?
I wasn't really worried about it. Like I knew that I was the president at in our
Hold
chapter.
on, hold on, hold on. You were the president of your local chapter of DECA, but you can't tell me
I was on the
what
district
DECA.
action team. Yeah, no, because we didn't. Like I said, we didn't really. Like that was one of those things. I didn't really worry about what DECA meant because, like, literally, it was DECA just marketing and merchandising. We didn't
What
really,
does DECA do?
bro. We've done this before. So, like, if they want to find out, they
No,
want to. We
no.
can
Can
go
you
through
just?
it. We
I've
can
gone
talk
back
about.
and rewatched it myself, and I'm still not.
Yeah,
What?
I'm not even 100% sure anymore, anyways, because it was over like 20 years ago.
Uh
It was
huh.
over 20 years ago. A lot's happened in those 20 years. So I don't even really remember. I remember there was competitions, and I was on our state district action team. I ran
I'm sorry.
for
The state what?
action team, the district action team.
Which is?
We were basically we would be the ones opening up our events in NorCal.
Tell me about
Um,
the events.
like we had these conferences where there would be competitions, and there was you
Tell
know
me about the competitions.
there was a number of different competitions through different look,
Tell me
honestly,
one. Just tell me one competition.
I remember there was like something for I think I competed in service or merchandising something or other, where basically it was like it was like a fill in the blank or bubble test type deal. It's almost like a Scantron thing where you took a test based on these questions, and then you would turn that in, and then there was almost like not a it was like not even an interview, kind of an interview process, but with like a profession, somebody who worked in the profession, and then you would get scored off your test score as well as
Worked
your
in what profession?
your again, over 20 years ago. I
Okay, okay,
don't remember.
okay. Let me ask you this: um, Did you ever participate in the Ohlone College Theater Festival?
Yeah.
Do you know what categories you performed in?
No.
You don't know any of the pieces that you did?
I I did I remember we did Death of a Salesman. Um we did a piece for Death of a Salesman, and I think I did a piece from A Midsummer's Night Dream or something like that. I mean, the biggest thing I ever did with the once I graduated and I got to Ohlone, then I hosted the festival for
Hmm.
years.
Hmm. But my point is, you can remember doing that in high school, and you could probably speak to it a whole heck of a lot better than you can DECA. So, in DECA, did they drug you?
No,
Why did you wear suits?
that was just part of the whole, like, because it was like we were doing business stuff. We were
Okay, so you
doing
said marketing and merchandising.
Yeah.
So when I hear merchandising, I think of like planograms and like in a retail store putting stuff up and what looks good or what items go together. Is that what you mean by merchandising?
No, I mean, like, we were talking, like, there was like there was different stuff. There was associate level stuff, and then there was management level stuff. There was like two. I remember there was like two different type categories, but then there was but all I remember is that it was a whole there was a whole, like, I remember I won a number of awards throughout the entire thing.
I'm sorry, you won awards and you probably maybe still have those awards,
I know I still have them somewhere, but I don't, like,
but you can't speak to them and why you got them.
I know, well, because I was great. Um, that's why I
At
won.
what? At what?
Like, that's what I'm
You were,
saying. I
here's
don't
what I don't
remember.
understand. You were great, but you don't even remember what you were great at. Like, I have awards for baseball when I was much younger than you were doing DECA. I have awards for the Willie Award for the top award you can get in our high school for theater. Like, I got that. I know why I got that. I know everything I did to get that.
Yeah,
I can speak to it. Just trying to understand. You're telling me you were great.
I just saying. I just don't like. We see. This is what I'm saying. I don't even understand why we're hashing this back out again, because we did this over a year. We did this a couple years ago, and I didn't remember then. So what makes you think I'm gonna all of a sudden remember now?
I I guess part of it is I would think if we've had even that last
You
time. That's
think
not.
you think that I would actually, like, go back and actually look for stuff?
I
Is
would
that what you were
think
thinking?
I would think if you let me finish that for your own personal curiosity, and I guess I expect too much from you. For your own personal curiosity, you would think walking away from this conversation, man, I know I like doing it because obviously I must have. I was the president. I was great at it. I've got many awards from it. I met lots of people around the world or around the country because of it. Why don't I remember any of this stuff? Maybe I should at least go back and look at some stuff because
Look,
you say you have it. So
I might, and that's the thing. I might have it. It's in boxes somewhere. Like, I remember, like, through Mission Valley ROP, I was like recognized through it. I remember that, like I said, I ran for the state president for it, and that was just abysmal. So I probably blocked that out. But, like, I do remember, like, we would have like these kind of
like
party, like
you
prom
brought
type
a
deals.
girl to prom from DECA.
Yeah.
So like clearly there were these good enough relations with these people that you were meeting from around the US or around whatever, but you can't speak to what you guys actually did.
So
Like
look,
I
when
was a
I
Sea
went,
Scout, right? I was a Sea Scout many years before you did DECA, right? I was in junior high, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, doing Sea Scouts. I can speak to it. I can tell you what we did. I can tell you what a regatta is. I can tell you the competitions that we actually did and competed in.
yeah, I'm just saying.
I'm thinking DECA is just some fake thing that is for people to hang out and just like maybe, I don't know, for teenagers to get drunk and hang out together.
Oh, it's never really not that. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that definitely did get drunk and stuff like that, and I'm 98% sure that that's what some people did. But no, like that wasn't, that was never my thing, anyways. But like, but no, like I remember certain aspects of it. I just don't remember like the competition aspects of it.
But
Like there's some of the
isn't
competition
that
stuff
what
that
the
I
point of the club was? Like, didn't you guys in the club on the regular sessions that you would meet weekly, bi-weekly, whatever, weren't you planning preparing for those competitions?
yeah, but I'm saying like I don't remember all that went into it. I remember
You don't seem to
I
remember
remember
anything
sitting
that
down
went into it.
and I remember working with one of my classmates, Michael Lewis, who's it's actually Louis.
Not related.
Yeah, not related at all. But I remember we were working on a project, but when we actually got to the competition, it was only one of us, and I went in and it blew it. That was horrible. But
So wait, it was
um,
supposed to be a two-person team,
no, and that's the thing. We thought it was a two-person team, but it actually only turned when like we were reading it and we signed up for it. It was supposed to be. We thought it was a team competition, but it wasn't a team competition. It was only basically one person.
so hold on. All clubs in high school were required to have an adult counselor, leader,
Yeah,
guy,
we had that was Miss McLaughlin.
but she didn't even know what you guys were actually supposed to be doing clearly.
No, so with that was just that one competition. Like that one competition, we had actually never competed in before. We had never
And
actually had a.
she didn't read the rules and regs
Well,
before.
that's the thing is that when we read it, it looked that's we when we read it, we just read it incorrectly, I guess. I remember we thought it was a team. It said something about team competition, but only one person. So like because we were working on the same thing, but we were working on two separate pieces. So when we got to the competition, they were like, "Oh, it's one person going in," and so we were like, "Oh, well, damn!" Like that kind of screws us. But um, I, I I remember when we looked at it, there was a whole thing where it was like it was a team thing, but it wasn't a team thing, so it kind of got convoluted. I do remember that. I
It
do
got
remember
what? I'm sorry.
there was a whole convoluted it like just the way it read
Hold
and
on.
everything else when we got to
I'm
work
sorry. It was what?
convoluted
Say that one more time.
convoluted
Convoluted. Is that what you said?
convoluted
Convoluted. Am I hearing you correctly? Am I pronouncing it back to you the way that you're saying it?
no
Convoluted.
no I said convoluted
Convoluted. Like you're diluting something. Like you take a soap and you dilute it. Convoluted. Is that what you're saying?
I guess.
Okay.
Anyways,
How many
what
drinks have you had tonight?
three anyways and actually probably more than three due to the fact that that apple juice was kind of strong. Anyways, but what I'm saying is that I remember that one specifically because that was the last one that I competed in and that went horribly wrong. um and so I felt bad for Micah and myself, but mostly because he had done a lot of work and everything else on that one. But it was just yeah, I remember the associate. There was an associate kind of path on the thing, and then there was like a management path on the thing. And I remember there was a lot of different competitions. Like there was one that like later on, like my senior year, there was one for like um sports management or something or like I don't remember. I didn't compete in that one. A couple of the other guys in my class did. and they did okay. Um, and yeah, so there was that track. There was like a sports.
There was a
Um,
sports management aspect to DECA,
yeah, that came
which
later,
DECA was marketing and management.
right? And so
Or
sports.
I'm sorry, marketing and merchandising.
Yeah, I don't know, but whatever. Anyways, like I'm saying, they're like again, I don't. I like. I remember. I remember some pieces of it. I remember the competitions.
Okay, do me a favor. Just
Ugh,
please, one piece. Just give me one piece, start to finish, the whole piece. What? Because you say you remember pieces. Give me one piece, the whole piece, though.
I've said like I remember doing the competition. I remember like I don't remember what I don't remember what
Do you remember where you competed?
I remember. There was we had a Visalia. We went to Visalia a couple times, and we went to Sacramento. I remember Sacramento got canceled because they thought one of our people was pulling the fire alarm. Um, but I remember like the competition aspect was, you'd go in, it was whatever category you signed up for, which I can't remember which category it was.
Can you name any category?
No,
Can you tell me any category you competed in?
I remember I don't remember. I remember like I did associate level, and I did
Associate
associate
level
level
what?
one. I don't. That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Like I don't remember the actual names. I don't remember. There was
Okay,
a
but what was
ton.
the?
There was a bunch of different categories
So I'll give you an
within this whole
example. I'll
thing.
give you an example. Sea Scouts. One of the competitions is called Scuttlebutt, right? Well, you hear Scuttlebutt, what the hell does that mean, right? Well, in Scuttlebutt, it's a team event. There's 8 guys. Your objective is to take a 60-gallon jug of water, 60-gallon barrel of water, and lift it up 3 feet off the ground using only 3 poles, rope, and a block and tackle. Okay, so there's a specific way you can do it and do it very quickly, effectively, and so the goal is to do it the fastest without spilling. Okay, and so I can speak to this very clearly. What we did, how we competed, if we won, if we didn't. Like I can tell you the name of the event, what it was. So I'm just asking you to name an event.
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember the name of the event.
Any. It wasn't just one. You said
Yeah,
there were
I know
many.
there was a bunch of different events, but I do not remember. Like literally, like I remember going to these things, and I remember competing in my own event. I remember that I won. No, oh, because I didn't win an overall. I won for piece of it, but I remember at least at the last state competition, I remember I won. I placed in the test portion, but I didn't place in the second part, which would have gotten me to state.
Okay, I'm going to do something for you. This might help. It might not. I'm not sure. But just hear me out. You were in a group called DECA in high school, and I don't know what the hell that is. So maybe you could explain what DECA is and why you guys had to wear suits all the dang time.
Well, okay. Now, mind you, we didn't have to wear suits all the dang time. I just happened to like wearing suits. Well, not all the dang time, but a lot of the time. Hey, I just looked good in them. What can I say? Anyways,
Please, what is
anyways,
DECA?
DECA was a marketing and merchandising, I guess you could say almost class.
Okay, hold on. What does DECA stand for?
That I don't even know. Like honestly, like I don't even know what like we talked about this. We talked about like I was always like, what is DECA? Like, but it was DECA, a marketing and merchandising base. I guess I
They
can't
never
remember
at any point said DECA is an acronym for.
no, yeah, they never like I asked that a number of times and I never got an answer for that.
Okay, so uh, I'm concerned you were part of a group. You don't know what it was actually about. So
No. It wasn't so like
I don't know what the acronym was for DECA.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what the acronym was, but it was a marketing and merchandising class basically. And we actually we
Well,
had
it
a
wasn't a
number of
class, right? It was
well, it was
extracurricular.
like I had it as actually I actually well yeah because I guess it was a club slash class we had but we were one chapter of um of a number of schools. I mean there at least in our area in California it was a lot of them did it through mission what was it the mission
Mission High School?
ROP pro or what is
Oh,
what was that
Mission
called?
Valley ROP.
Yeah, a lot of there were some schools that were actually connected through that, but like there was a number of schools that had their own chapters, and so when we would all end up we had a number of competitions throughout the year.
What would you compete for?
So there was, I mean, God, there was a bunch of different topics. So there was like it was a I know I did
Bear in
it,
mind, folks, this guy was heavily involved in this for many years.
it was 2 years. It was just 2 years. Um I man, I haven't thought about this in so long, and I don't remember. I mean, I've thought about it, but I just don't remember I don't remember what competitions I don't remember what I competed in. I do know my senior year, I competed in a small business project. Now, the only problem is that I worked with another guy as a team, and it turned out that wasn't a team competition.
I'm still not sure I'm understanding how the competition worked.
So there are schools from all over. Now, the competitions that we had were for so we actually had our own we had a small one for just Mission Valley, like the schools in our area. We had a small competition that we only did that 1 year, I know. We had a NorCal competition, which was actually kind of unusual because we were like the biggest region in the state, of course. So we would have our own competitions with all the schools that had DECA. They would come to wherever we had it. It was Visalia 1 year, and then we had it in San Ramon.
You're still not telling me what you guys competed as.
No, this is what I'm saying. It was a bunch of different stuff. I mean, there was there was management levels and associate level stuff. It was, oh God, I can't even remember the name of some of these some of the competition stuff. I would love to be able to tell you. I cannot remember the name of some of the stuff that.
I don't need a name. What did you do? Like, you say it's marketing and
management. So what we would do is competition wise. So there was like a test type deal that we would take, answering questions based on whatever topic we were competing in. Then once you did that, there was kind of a interview. It was almost like an interview process. And it's been so long, Mark. It's been so long. I don't even remember like what we like some of the competition stuff. I do remember that there was placing, of course, which actually I didn't place to go to. I placed at NorCal 1 year, but I never actually placed at state, which, oh no, lies. I won something at state, but not to get me to the national convention for DECA. But yeah, this is nationwide, by the way.
Okay.
And actually collegiate level too. And so I apologize. I really don't remember what I competed in.
So I'm getting almost as much information from the internet as I'm getting from you. So DECA is formally known as Distributive Education Clubs of America.
Oh,
Distributive Education Clubs of America. What does
that's
that
probably
mean?
that's probably why they dropped the acronym.
So I don't want to waste too much time on this. I was hoping you could enlighten me, which I clearly was wrong. So let's go ahead and move on.
No, I
from
mean that's the
DECA.
thing. Is just like I said, it's been over what, it's been like 30 years or 20 some years since I've even really.
Yes, as Steven said, I guess I should have just followed this acronym. Don't even care to ask what DECA stands for. Shame on me. I thought you might know something about, since you were involved with it for 2 years, but
Like, that's the thing. I thought I did, and it just, I mean, I just can't
It's okay.
really recall anything right now.
It's okay. I forgive you.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. Hippopotamus. Woo!
Do you remember that? That's from like very early on in us doing this show.
I remember that. And then it didn't change anything.
You haven't recalled anything further?
No.
And Brian says it's like play marketing classes. Is that correct?
I won't say play. I mean, I guess it wasn't like full grown. But
So what do you know about marketing today that you learned from DECA?
I didn't do the marketing edge of things.
What into things did you do? Because you didn't do sports management.
I was in the
I know for sure.
In the associates level stuff. I don't remember. I don't remember any of the questions or anything like that. I remember, like I said, there was it was almost like there was a test portion, and then there was it wasn't like,
Do you remember any of the?
It wasn't a scenario. It wasn't
like,
a scenario. It wasn't an interview, but it was like a scenario that you basically played out with like a person who works in said industry. So I think
what industry?
It was like a bunch of different industries. Like they worked in like customer service. They were like management.
Any.
I don't remember. Like, just get that through your skull. I don't remember. I just don't. We could talk about this at some other point in time, and I still won't remember.
So is it like a Model UN speech and debate club?
Probably closer to that, but again, I don't remember any of the I remember there was competitions. I remember there was a bunch of different categories. I remember there was we had.
But you only competed in one category?
No, I competed in 1 year. One year I competed in one. The second year I competed in two.
So there was only one competition a year?
Big, like we had Mission Valley ROP that had one competition. That was like my junior year. I remember that. We didn't have it our senior year.
So there's Mission Valley ROP competition, which involved the Mission Valley schools. So that included like the Fremont schools, Union City, Logan, right?
No, because Logan, I don't remember Logan having one, but I remember it was, because it was just Fremont and so it was like the Fremont schools and Newark.
Okay, so you guys had a competition,
right,
where all of the DECA clubs from these different schools, Washington, Logan, American, Mission, right?
Yeah,
you all came together,
right,
in a gym or whatever.
But it was at the Mission Valley ROP spot. Yeah.
Okay, so you went to one spot where you all were at the same time, and you competed in a category.
Right. Don't remember.
Now, when you competed in a category, did someone else from your from Newark, did somebody else compete in that category, or was it just you?
No, there was I think a couple other people that did that same category.
Okay, because like if you remember at Newark Memorial, right, when we would go to Ohlone College Theater Festival,
right,
we could only have two
Right.
competitors in a category, right?
Right. No, this wasn't like this was a thing where we could go through the entire there was a list of categories, and then people kind of go where like if because some people were working, some people weren't. So it was kind of like depending on what you were doing, there was one that was like think restaurants or something like that, but that was before I was working in a restaurant. And then there was one that was like some other thing. There was like restaurant associate something or other, and then there was associate and management. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think that's what it was. And then there was some other retail or something like that with associate and management level. And there was a couple other categories which I don't remember.
Okay, because I'm just trying to tie it, right? So you say it's merchandising.
You keep driving this, and you're not going to get anything different from me.
I don't know. I'm getting more down this path right now because you're talking about specific competition. You've told me now that there were multiple people from Newark that competed in the same category. So were majority of the events individual participant, or were there
Yes.
team events?
There were team events, but most of the time we didn't do the team events.
So you mostly did.
I mostly
yourself.
did the single events. I think there was a couple guys. There was a couple guys that I believe did one of the events, which I think involved like the sports management. Those guys really were into sports, and so don't get me wrong, I was into sports too, but not as much as these guys were. So I remember I think there was a team competition for that, and but again, I couldn't tell you because I didn't compete in it.
Okay, so for you competed in an event, and would you get multiple tries in an event, or was it one and done?
No, so like I said, there was two pieces to it. There was the test, and then there was this mock scenario situation.
So every event that you did had that component where there
Right.
would be do a physical or a mental challenge, and then
Right.
do an interview to
like a mock scenario situation.
And were all of the competitions or categories that you competed in, were they quiz test based, like as you said, like Scantron, or
Yeah,
were there some
like-
where it was
No,
take a planogram, because you
No,
said
it wasn't. Yeah,
merchandising, right? So
no, it wasn't even that. It was like they would like in the test they would have different questions about like I can't tell you a question, but there would be like I think it was like 50 questions or whatever, and you would do that. You would answer those best of your ability, and then you would after you would turn that in, and then you would do your mock scenario situation, which pretty much
but that was all verbal conversation.
that part was a verbal conversation. The other part was like an actual, like you're sitting down and looking at these questions and answering a test type deal.
So at a specific competition at this Mission
Mhm.
Valley one, how many categories would you compete in?
I would only do like one.
Okay.
So at that, like the Mission Valley one, we only did one. I remember at NorCal, I did one, and then at State, my senior year, I did two. That's
Okay.
the one I did, the small business one, and that's the one that went wrong.
Okay, so let's talk about that one for a second. So you did two different categories.
Mhm.
When you did those two different categories, were the competition aspect the same? Meaning, was there a quiz on this one and a quiz on this
There was
one?
there was a quiz on one, and there was the mock interview. There was the mock scenario situation on that one. But when the other one, it wasn't. It was basically just the interview portion, like the mock scenario portion.
Okay, so the majority of, would you say that the majority of DECA's competitions are mental challenges, so to speak?
I wouldn't say mental. I mean, like there's a mental aspect to it. They're not. It's not like
There's no. It doesn't sound like there's any physical challenges. Like
no, it's not like you're moving. You're not like. Well, I mean, I don't know. Again, like things they could have changed stuff where you have to set a planogram or something.
Because like even though you
over the
didn't
years.
compete in other categories, I'm sure you were aware of the other categories taking place, right?
I did not really. I mean, like I was when at competition, I was mainly focused on my on what I was doing.
Sure, but in the club, I mean, you were the president of the club,
Yeah, I
so
mean, so
you
like
knew what other people were doing, right?
I knew what other guys were competing in, but I didn't
Is
really.
DECA all men? Just to be clear.
No, I mean we had some girls in our we had some
Okay.
girls, but so I say guys in as a general term,
Okay,
but
I just wanted to. I
yeah,
wasn't
no.
sure.
So I mean, like there, and we did in my chapter, we did have a lot of guys. We had a few girls, but overall, what I'm saying is that the I would be aware of what categories they were doing, and like so if I would see them, like if I would see them before they were going to compete, I'd go up to them and I'd just be like, "Hey, good luck, get in there. You already know what you're doing, so get it." And so kind of just real quick, just
So you're basically being a hype man.
yeah, it was a give them a
You knew
attaboy.
nothing of what they were actually doing, but
No,
you.
because I didn't. Well, that's the thing is that I didn't. That wasn't where my mind was. I like my main thing was is like get them hyped, let them know that you could do a good job. This, like go in there and do it. And stuff like that. So it wasn't like I was focused on what I was doing.
Because to me,
Um,
it sounds like, and
it was a lot of one. I mean, it was a lot of just kind of self. It was kind of just a lot of self competition, if you will.
yeah. So it sounds to me, and tell me if I'm off base here, but it sounds to me like, uh, for example, talking about restaurants, right? You would theoretically study that work field, learn that industry, and then there would
Well,
be.
see, that's the thing is that some people would like it was supposed to be kind of what you worked in. Unfortunately, what I was working in didn't really have at the time when I was doing it. What I was doing didn't really have a. So I think I did the retail
What were you? What was your?
associate
What were
because
you
I
doing
think at that
before?
point in time I know I had worked at I think I had worked at Expressly Portrait for a little while at that point in time, and I had worked at I worked at Wendy's at that point in time. I think I might have worked at Wendy's, but I wasn't like. So I think I did. I think I did like something with. I remember doing like something like retail associate or something like that, and but like I said, I don't remember because I remember like the jobs that I had did not fall like there was just like not really a category. So I was I was kind of shooting without a net, if you I was fishing without a net or
But I
without a
mean, you could start DECA as a freshman, I assume, right?
no. Well, I mean, maybe they've changed it, but DECA couldn't. You couldn't start DECA. You could not do DECA until junior year.
Were you required to have a job in
Mm-mm,
order to be in DECA?
mm-mm.
So a person could have never worked in restaurants, retail,
Yeah, they could
whatever,
have. I
sports
mean,
management.
right? They could have never worked in any of this stuff. I mean, you got like kind of. I remember like there was like kind of outlines just telling you what each competition was. Kind of so like here, take a look. It was all kind of see what kind of piques your interest.
How
Eh,
old does Brian think you are? 80s corporate America had no idea how to sell the performing arts.
what?
I'm not sure. We're not that old. You're older than us, friend.
Yeah, and I was doing this in '99 and 2000.
Yeah, a
Like,
little
so
confused.
yeah.
Uh,
So,
okay,
but like I said,
I
I remember a little pieces of it. I do remember that but like as far as the competitions go, I do know that I placed a couple times. I do know that I have. I think the awards are floating around somewhere in these boxes downstairs, but I just can't tell. I don't know what the whole thing was. I just can't. Yeah.
so tell me this because you did it for 2 years. If there was like some DECA reunion or something, it does. I don't get the impression that it would be something you would do.
Well, honestly, because like I said, DECA is high school. There's high school, and then there's collegiate level.
Oh, hold on. There's collegiate level DECA.
Yeah. I don't know anything about it because we didn't have that. I didn't where the school went to didn't have it, and I didn't apply to a school that had it. So, or I mean, I heard about it. I think I remember hearing about it my senior year, and I was like, oh, okay. But then I was like, oh, I'm not going to any school that has it, so it doesn't mean anything to me. So that's when it kind of ended for me. Then I kind of just stopped thinking about it at that point. But I do know that there was. I remember. I think was there one at Penn State or Penn? Was he going to Penn State? I don't remember. But like one of the guys that I worked with closely, he was actually from he was from Was he from Mission? Yeah, he's from Mission, and we worked together closely because he was VP of NorCal, and so I was on the district action team with him, and so I worked with him on a number of things, and so we would. But yeah, he was talking about when he was the school that he
I
was going to
I
had it.
I hate to do this, and it's not me trying to be a dick. It's you say you worked with him on a number of things, so you remember working with him on a number of things. But
No, so what we did, so when I worked with him, it was on. We were setting up. I remember we were planning out. No, we weren't really planning out because it was already kind of set up. But we had a district action team meeting before the NorCal event, and then we would do like the the openings and stuff like that of the NorCal event. So we were on stage and you know uh, talking about the competition, introducing people who are coming, you know, different aspects of it. I don't remember. Like I don't remember. I remember like we. I remember we were in San Ramon uh, a couple weeks prior or was it the same weekend as an event? I think it might have been the same weekend as an event, and it was the entire district action team. So it was me, this guy Nick. Can't remember. Can't remember anybody else's name. That's kind of sad, but it doesn't really matter. Anyways, we were out there, and I remember we went to we were on a break, so we went to go grab lunch, and we went to a TGI Fridays, and I remember we were about to be we were like done, and I remember I had ordered food. So the food that I'd ordered, I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna take this to go," and then we ended up sitting there so long talking and stuff that I ended up like eating the rest of my food there at the TGI Fridays. And then um I don't remember what happened, but I do remember like I just started for some reason like I got the chuckles, and then like little for about a good like 5-10 minutes we just laughed, and we did not, and it was just because I started laughing and everybody else started laughing because of my laughing. And so there was a couple moments like that, which was fun. But like I do remember we were planning out like there was a whole when we opened the competition who was going to be doing what part, and so we were planning that out and making sure that the staging and all that kind of stuff was correct and all that kind of good stuff. Um, and yeah, that's all I remember about that. And then
do you remember?
I just remember the competition. I remember like competing and stuff, but I don't remember. I remember the dances that we had afterwards and stuff like that, but that's about it.
Like a high school dance?
Yeah, basically.
So do you remember before DECA what brought you or drew you into DECA?
No, actually I don't really remember what drew me into it. I I don't I really couldn't I don't remember really what drew me into it. I remember I think I was looking for a I think I was looking for uh an elective class, and it was like a space towards the end of the day.
DECA wasn't a class. I can't stress that enough.
No, it was we it our no, so like DECA is a club, but ours was like a class. It was we had a period that was
You did
specific.
not. I guarantee you, if you go back and look at your transcripts, if you got your high school transcripts, DECA is not on there. It was not a class. You did not receive credit for it.
Or it wasn't maybe it wasn't DECA, maybe it was like the
It's just
marketing.
like kids who played football. They didn't get credit for playing football.
No, I'm saying like this was an actual class because we took it. It was like I remember it was fifth or maybe even sixth period or something like that. I know it was at the end. It was near the end of my day because I would pretty much go from there to theater. So which was theater, I know was like the elective at like the elective class, but like this was or whatever extracurricular, and but this was an actual like what I did and included what DECA was integrated into it. That was a
So
class.
if you pulled your high school transcripts today, it would show up on there, is what you're saying.
I don't might not be DECA, but it would definitely be some like it might be marketing and merchandising or something like that. I know it was it like my parents would go meet with Miss McLaughlin during teacher parent conferences. Like that was it was like a class. Like the portion that I mean what I'm saying is yes, it was like a club, it was like extracurricular, yes, but when I did it, it was a class. And so it would be, it was like it was a period, it was like I said, it was like the end of the day. I do remember that. And we would go from there. We would pretty much go from there to, I would go from there to the theater. But like, I do remember it was at the end of the day for the most part.
And Brian claims that he remembers you being late to rehearsals because of DECA.
We didn't even do theater together, Brian. What the hell are you talking about? Or at least I don't remember you being there when I was there. Like, what the hell?
That was the exact thought that went through my head as I read it before I pulled it up on the screen. Because I'm like,
no, and don't get me wrong. I do know that I did run late to a couple of rehearsals because I was doing DECA, but like not because I don't remember you being there.
Yeah, Brian, which
you
of the
do
shows
realize I graduated in 2000, right? So when I was doing DECA, it was 99 and 2000. Like, and if anything, it would have been like that. It would have been my senior year that I was late to anything.
And Brian says, "Oh, it was some other black guy."
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
No, he said it was someone else.
Someone else. Oh, okay.
He's thinking of James Dadsey.
James Dadsey was no. James Dadsey wasn't in DECA. No, I did BSU with James Dadsey.
Yes, and Brian admits he's very old, so his memories.
Yeah.
And I know Brian worked on some stuff for Memorial post high school, but I mean, Brian graduated.
I don't think when we were there.
Yeah, Brian graduated like 92.
Yeah, he was. I think you were in New York at that time, weren't you? Or
yeah, but because your first show, the first show you did at Memorial was in 98.
Look Homeward Angel.
So
97 fall night. I think it was 90. So 96, 97, 97, 98.
So and just take it.
Yeah.
Brian says James Dadsey is that also after me, and yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's true because James Dadsey graduated I think the year before me,
and his sister, also known as Miss Dadsey, was in my class.
What was her?
That's how we knew her, as Miss Dadsey.
Yeah, I remember. I got her first name, but I can't remember it now. But she. But like that's what I'm saying. It's like even then, my first show was Look Homeward Angel, which I believe was 90. Yeah, it was.
That was my freshman year.
Yeah,
so that would have been 97, 98.
That was fall. That was fall of 97. Because I went to the first show that I didn't work on, but I went to go see, and that's how I got involved. Well, actually, I got involved in theater because I remember I had Spanish with David Richard Reese.
I gotta say, this is what's weird to me. You got involved in theater before DECA, and you can speak to remembering why, how, when you got involved with theater, but you can't do that for DECA.
I don't remember the little aspects. The only reason I remember that
aspect, right?
Well, I don't remember. Like I'm saying, like the competition pieces weren't little aspects. Yes, but I just don't remember. There were so many that I don't remember. I don't even remember the ones that I did.
You're saying you remember the dances, right?
Yeah, I remember.
And to me, that's like a throwaway of DECA. That's That is a little piece of
that
Decca.
was but that changed. That was like one of those things that changed, that got me a little bit more comfortable with myself. I learned, well, because like I had never, like I didn't really dance. And so, but like,
No, and you shouldn't have.
well, like, I mean, like, yeah, I don't, choreograph dances are a whole different thing, but like just being out on the dance floor, just like kind of just moving like that. And it was cool because like that broke me out of that shell that really got me a little bit more comfortable. So I wasn't actually sitting there on the
I,
wall all the
I
time.
wish, and I don't know if I've told this story before or not. Maybe I have, but if you recall your senior year, your senior prom, I went to your
Hmm.
senior prom as a videographer.
Hmm.
I was at your house actually as you prepared,
Hmm.
getting suited up, getting in your tux
Hmm.
before your date arrived.
Hmm.
I rode in the limo with you, Scott Blake, your dates. I think it was his cousin as well.
No, that was his girlfriend at the time.
I'm sorry. What?
That was, he was dating.
No, there was three of you. There was three men. There was you, Scott, and I
No,
thought
it was
his,
you and you.
no, not me. I didn't have a date. There was three
I
people who
know
had a
it
date.
was, no. There was only two of us there was only two. There was three guys in that vehicle. You, me, and Scott.
Are you sure?
100%.
So there's five of us in that vehicle.
Yes.
Okay. Either way, so I went to this prom. I wish I had still to this day the videos that I made, the tapes that I made from this, because I don't know if you can, and I'm guessing you probably can't, but I can vividly remember being in your room at your house on Betancourt, like record or
Not
not
on bed.
Betancourt, around the
Yeah.
corner from Betancourt.
Yeah.
I can vividly remember like videotaping you in your room as you're getting ready, talking to you about it, and then going out, getting in the limo. You, Scott, Johanna. I can't remember your date's name because she was new to me. I'd never met her before.
I think it was Angelina or something like that.
Sure, sounds
Yeah.
good. And going to the prom
Mhm.
in San Francisco,
Right.
and videotaping you doing your thing throughout the event, if you will. Um, and so it's interesting. I remember, and this wasn't even my event. This was your event. How much of that night do you remember?
Oh, um, I remember, like getting there and like walking in the door, and for some reason, I don't know how everybody knew who the hell I was, but like they were like, "Are you James Lewis?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, "Oh, you need to. Your mom called you or something like that." And I was like, "What? Like, why would my mom?" And then I remember going to, oh, what was her name? Miss Breen.
Jan Breen.
Yeah, Miss Breen. I go up and we're like we're checking in or whatever, and she goes, "Hey, your mom called, and so you need to call her back." And so she handed me her cell phone, and I called my mom, and I was like, "Yo, like, what's up?" And then because basically so basically after prom, we were gonna basically have people over at the house, and she was gonna like make breakfast or pancakes or something like that, but it turned out that had to be canceled because something or other, she wasn't feeling well, whatnot. So I was like, whatever. And so yeah, and then that was yeah. And then I remember that I remember for like like the food was decent, and I remember, just seeing a lot of, the people that I knew throughout, like there was a bunch of different people that I knew. And so it was just like saying hi to them and kind of, just group, like, hey, arms around each other, like, hey, partying, just having a good time. I do remember like there was a couple slow dances and I was trying to dance with my date, but she was like, I feel gross, sweaty, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, whatever. And then, And I remember she did complain a lot because she was like, my friends aren't here. Because then the only reason that I invited her. So here's the reason I remember why I invited her, because her prom fell during our national competition, and we were in Kentucky that year. Awful. And this was for Decca. So I remember that she was going to miss her prom. So I was like, hey, I'm still looking for a date for my prom. So I mean, would you like to go to my prom? And that's how that happened. And so she was like, yeah, that'd be awesome, that'd be great, blah blah blah. Not awesome, but she's like, yeah, that'd be great. And so I was like, because then you can at least have a prom and all this kind of stuff. And I was all hunky-dory. But again, it was just one of those things where she was like, I wish my friends were here, because again, she missed hers. And but yeah, I remember that. I remember going to Lions afterwards, because Lions was always afterwards. And then I had actually, somehow, leaving the house, I had forgotten my key to get in the house. And so I had to so luckily my garage was open, so I was able to get in my garage. But of course, my garage didn't have an entrance into my house, so I was waiting for my mom had fallen asleep. I had called the house, nobody had answered, and so like I had knocked on the door and stuff like that. But we didn't have cell phones then, so there was no way for me to call my mom to wake her up. And I like knocked on the door, rang the doorbell, nobody answered. And so I was like, I was kind of SOL. So I was at least able to get in the garage and like kind of just, take my jacket off and kind of just chill on it. We had boxes and stuff out in the garage. I do remember that part, but that's about it. But that was the way that's the way my morning, the night ended, morning started. it was a mess.
So, two things. First, Brian says, okay, James, if you weren't around prior to 1998, how did I know you? I don't think Aida was the first time we met.
Your mom was I don't know. I might have met you because I had your mom as my algebra teacher in my sophomore year. Your mom was my geometry teacher. So I don't know if you came up, if you had happened to swing by or something to see her. But
do you feel that you knew Brian before Aida?
I know. I don't like. We might like, there literally could have been maybe like a passing moment, but that was about it. I don't remember you being in the theater per se. Like the first show I remember actually working. The first show I remember really like meeting you, like was Aida, because I remember I met your brother, and then I met you. Because I met David when I came to stage one. He was like, and then I met you, and then I made the connection of, oh wait, that's so Mrs. Hobbs is your mom. And then that's where that whole thing came from. But I don't remember meeting you prior to Aida.
So I'm going to say this. I love the story that you just shared about the prom and everything. But I'd like to point out that was one night. One night. Jesus, and you remember a lot of details. And so I'm concerned that you did 2 years of DECA.
Drop it. Just drop it.
I'm just saying.
I understand that. Because one of the reasons I remember prom was because it was. I remember that later on in the year. So at the end of the year, so we do those end of the year things in the gym, where I got called out specifically by Officer Chen. Was that his name? Officer Chen? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Anyways, so
resource officer?
Yeah. I don't remember. I can't remember his name, but all I do is remember is that I got called out for that because for my mom calling the prom, and that's one of the reasons that I think that stands out. And so, but yeah, I mean, it's also I think it
So do
was
you
because
think
it's
that
prom.
DECA doesn't register for you on your memory banks because it didn't mean anything to you?
No, I mean like it meant just like there was.
I mean, you can't tell me that it
I
meant a
think
lot, right?
no, I
Like
mean at the
realistically.
time at the time it meant a lot to me, but like over the years there's been a lot of other things that might have just kind of pushed it to the side. That like I mean like prom is I can remember pieces of my junior prom. I can't remember all the pieces of my junior prom. I remember my senior ball very much so, but but I can't remember like my junior prom. I remember little aspects of it, but not a lot. I remember some of the school dances, but I can really tell you like I couldn't tell you which one it was. Um, but like yeah, no, Deca was a big part of my life for those 2 years. But like it's just like a lot has happened in the past 20 years, 20 30 years that don't I just it kind of moved out.
So let me wrap up, put a bow on the DECA conversation. Do you still keep in any form of communications with anyone that was involved with DECA at the time that you did DECA?
Mm-mm.
So you're not even like Facebook friends with anyone.
Um, might be Facebook friends with like a couple people that I went to high school with that were also in DECA, but not to where like I might be just Facebook friends with them. Like we don't we don't connect. We don't like
Like
talk.
you probably haven't had any way, shape, or form a conversation with someone in the last 10 years, even.
No, no. I mean, I know I had a couple of the people's numbers, and like right after high school, I remember there was Jody, and I remember Miriam. They were both from Irvington. Um, I remember I remember Nick. He was like from Mission. I think he was up Mission. Um, I remember like during high school, we hung out a few times. Um, I remember like Jody and Miriam were the ones and I remember Miriam's sister. I don't remember her name, but I remember Miriam's sister was like a chaperone at a couple of the events. Um,
So there's not. I guess what I
yeah.
was
Oh,
trying to
you
get.
mean like somebody like people that I actually really like? I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, you remember? Yeah, no, there's nobody that like I.
Ultimately, what I was going to ask is there anybody you could bring onto the show that maybe could help a
Oh,
lifeline for you to?
I doubt it. I mean, I could. I mean, like, there's nobody that I mean, I saw people afterwards. Like when I was working at Red Robin, I would run into like somebody might come in or whatever, and but there's nobody that I can. Yeah, there's nobody that could be like,
But
hey,
no lifelong friends. Like you have many from theater, right?
I have a number. I mean, like I have a number from theater, but like I know and then I have my friends from when growing up, like we don't talk as much anymore. But like me and Nate, we pretty much talk once a week. Me and Jim talk every once in a while, but Jim is also my brother's god brother, um, but I talk to him every once in a while.
What is a god brother?
Um, you don't have godparents?
Sure, I have godparents.
Yeah, so basically it's like,
So you're saying my cousins are my god brothers?
are your
My aunt and uncle are my godmother and my godfather.
okay, then yeah, technically, I mean, yes, they're your cousins, but yes, like in this case, yes, they would be your godbrothers.
So you say this person is your brother's godbrother, but not your godbrother.
Right, because we have two different godparents. I have my
Well, if
godparent.
something had happened to your folks when you were little, you would have gotten split up.
Possibly. Doubt. I mean, like,
Isn't that the concept? Isn't that the point of a godparent?
well, I mean, possibly. I don't because if something, well, you got to remember, my brother was also 7 years younger. He was actually not even planned. He was so like, um, so yeah. If something would have happened once he was born, then I mean, there's most likely we would end up staying with each other, regardless. But yes, but like I understand what you're saying. I have two sets of godparents. So I have actually two of them. I don't even really know. I don't even really remember. I know I used to see them a lot when I was younger, but my
How do
aunt,
you have two sets of godparents?
because that's what my parents did. They chose to. Like I have my aunt
Two
Donna.
men and two women?
Yeah. So like I have my aunt Donna who lives, well, now she lives in Virginia, and then did have my I did have Bill, but they divorced, and so I don't know technically what that would mean there. And then I did have
Like, do you have a step godmother and a step godfather then?
no, no, like there was just I just had two sets of godparents, and that was just I didn't. That's all I knew. But like my brother had I call her Aunt Phyllis and Uncle CD, but that was about it. So that's why I referred to them as uncles, but aunts and uncles, but those were his godparents.
Fair enough. And just before we wrap up here soon, I did want to go back one thing, and it's not Deca,
Oh
um,
my god!
but just just to help you for the future, the word is convoluted, convoluted, not convoluted.
No, all right.
Yes, I'd like you to be at least present intelligent.
Like that's one word. Like I'm just saying. I mean, there's some words that there was something I was spelling one time, and I was like, no, that doesn't look right at all. And then I realized that I'd been spelling it wrong. I Not all the time, but like on this one particular time, I was spelling it wrong, and so like I fixed that. But like, yeah, not some of the words, some words like you know, I know I know what they mean. I just don't know exactly how they're spelled. So
Okay,
so I might say
what
it wrong.
what does convoluted mean?
Well, now you said convoluted, and now that I know that it's convoluted, and I may probably mixed up
I'm
convoluted.
assuming based on how the context of how you used the word that's what you meant was convoluted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was just like because basically it's just everything kind of got mushed together, and so it kind of washed each other out. So I don't know. Anyways, but yeah,
Been on any dates?
no,
Any potential
maybe,
dates in the future?
maybe, but I don't know.
Can you elaborate on that at all?
No, not at this time.
You can't or you won't.
Probably because I won't.
Is this a viewer of the show?
No,
Do you think we're at a place where it's time to win a date with James?
I mean you could try that. I don't know how well it would work, but
Well, it's more, are you open to it?
I'd be open to it.
It means you pay for the date, to be
That's
clear.
that's fine. Just I'm down. But yeah, no, like I mean, there's a couple people that like I've dropped hints to, and it's just a matter of or
What is
not
dro-
hints, just
At
not
this
dropped. That's
point,
a
at
that's a point.
41,
That's a poor form of whatever you call it.
at 41 years old, what does dropping a hint look like?
No, I mean like there's whereas like I express that I'm interested in taking them out.
Like directly.
Yeah,
So it's not
like
dropping
it's
a
not
hint,
really
right?
dropping a hint. It's more like showing that I'm interested, but then it's just a matter
It's
of
straight up saying, "Hey, Beezy, let me take you out to show you
yeah.
what I'm all about.
Well, no, it's not. It's
To
not.
show you D's."
Not really that way, but no, it's like I've talked to them and I've been like, hey, I'd be interested in taking you out or whatever, or along those lines of like, hey, I would love to take you out sometime. And so, and then it's kind of waiting on if they're yes or no type situation. I know one that I talked to, she was like, no, because we work together. And I was like, all right, I get it. But at the same time, I was like,
No, that's a cop out. At this
well, and
point,
the other thing is that I was like, I get it, but at the same time, I was like, I actually was gonna go talk when I see her next. I was gonna be like, we only see each other like once, maybe twice a week, if that. So,
no, see, that's one you shouldn't follow up on because
oh,
again,
we read. I mean, most of the time, it's just like it's just kind of just flirty talking, anyways. So, but like, so that's probably how that would even play out. So, I mean, I don't even know, but yeah. So it's all about it is what it is. So, I mean, if something comes from it, cool. If not, oh well. Still on. Oh yeah, hold on. Speaking of which, I just need to check something. But no, like it's kind of what it is. How it's gonna be.
fair enough, I
I don't
suppose.
know.
And I did want to
Yeah.
share with our audience that Restream has developed some new and exciting backgrounds.
What is that one?
It appears to be some type of
Forest
garden.
garden, yeah. Walking through the garden. What are those Halloween ones they got?
I'm gonna get there. Calm down.
Oh,
So
I don't know
you
if I
know
like there's a lot of movement.
it's I do agree that some of these are moving a little bit faster than I would probably like.
Yeah,
But it is nice to see that they're constantly
they stepped up their
trying
game. Yeah,
trying to do something. I suppose. What is this one? This
that looks like Birds of Paradise, but
yeah.
it's not. So
What's this one? Is this snow? Oh, that was there before.
no, not this. I don't remember this one. I remember something like that in the countdowns. I remember something like this in the countdowns too.
But yeah, so they've done some Halloween
Yeah,
specific backgrounds.
kind of dig that. That's kind of cool. Looks like the Adams house. I can't
It's
see that.
hard because you can't really tell what. There's no good option
Yeah.
aside from doing this. And then I have to bring us back in because we're muted.
Oh, are we muted?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of lame.
Yeah. If we're not on screen, we're muted generally.
Oh wow.
So the artwork is cool, but you can't really see.
Can't really see it. Yeah.
Like this one, okay, we're going to be muted for a second.
Pretty dope.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
like that one's pretty cool, but like
Yeah.
you can't really right
Can't
now
really
enjoy it.
appreciate it. Yeah.
So that's a little frustrating. And then what I'm surprised by, and frankly, a bit disappointed in, is that they haven't really added any new countdowns. I'm looking at the generic ones that they have. They're the same we've always used in the past. And the
Where are those under the
overlays,
design?
video clips. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed that they really haven't.
Can we use the spooky ones next week?
The spooky. The what?
The text.
What are you looking at?
On designs, it says rounded, and then there's this one.
Oh, hey, yeah, that is that. I mean, I thought it was going to actually have the little pumpkin.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, it was just, yeah, I switched it back, but no, they had spooky on there. I just saw it, but
Well,
it didn't
next
look
week
that great.
it will be November 1st.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So,
and then these overlays, I don't even understand. Like,
was that aliens or something like that? Doesn't make sense.
yeah, and they've they've reduced the amount of overlays.
Yeah, they did. They used to have a lot more.
So
And
I don't know. Because
Yeah.
I've been thinking, once our subscription for this year is up with them, is switching to another platform.
Oh,
But I like Restream. It's where we've
Yeah.
been for the last 2 years. So
yeah. What I don't see any other where are the I don't see any other countdown videos.
so in order to see them, you've got to roll down to the bottom where it says default graphics, turn them on, make sure that's on, and then look at video clips just under the overlays.
Oh, I see it. Yeah,
Yep.
where we have like our alert and our opening and
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah, those are that's the same ones.
Nothing new.
Yeah.
So,
Huh, interesting.
anyways, is there anything before we shut this thing down that you would like to communicate to the final few dozen that are still hanging out with us?
No, just when you come to the airport, make sure you have your ID and
What? I need an ID to fly?
you wouldn't believe people. Well, I mean, at least out here, people get their wallets stolen, lose wallets, whatever. And
they still think that they're going to get through somehow.
Oh, I mean, we have ways of getting them through. It's just you have to wait. It takes a lot longer to get through.
Can you elaborate on that at all?
What do you mean?
How somebody without an ID is able to get through?
Oh, we have to call. There's we have to make a phone call to. There's a number we call, and then it's about they ask a bunch of different questions to verify it's you, and then they confirm it. Once it's confirmed, then we have to walk you through. It's like full pat down, checking all your stuff, all that kind of good stuff. And then you're good to go.
Like, do they provide you with like an image or a photo of the person to say?
No, it's not really. We don't. I mean, we don't have. It's not like that. I mean, we don't have like a photo of the person, but like we have.
So like literally, if I knew enough about someone else, I potentially could get through by pretending I'm someone else if I know enough about them.
You shouldn't, but I mean, somehow if you knew that much about somebody,
I don't know. Criminals are criminals, man.
Yeah, criminals going crim, but but yeah, no, like I mean, for the most part, there's. I mean, it mostly, and actually, the crazy part was this past weekend was when we were young, which is like it's a music festival type deal. It has a lot of like bands from the 90s and stuff like that at the time.
Bro, you got a boogie or what? That's
no, it's just like my nose is itching. Like I have this like my mustache is like hair is like tickling the bottom of my nose.
Time to get some tweezers out, bro.
No, it's just not the hair in my nose. It's the hair outside my nose. But yeah, no, it's like we had this concert, and so there were some people that lost their IDs or whatever at the concert or dropped it in the cab or whatever, and they still got to get back. So, yeah, it happens during EDC. We see a lot of it during EDC. We see a lot like big music festivals and stuff like that come through. Big conferences that come through. Sometimes people just lose stuff, or again, they like the criminals going crim, and so like people, there's pickpockets and stuff like that, and so so people still got to get home. So we got a way to get you home. It's just not. It's a longer process, and it's not a fun process. And and definitely like some of these guys, they'll exit. Like their flight maybe got canceled or something, so they exit, and then it's like, no, we got to do this all over again. So that's irritating, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
I got one last question.
Yeah.
The jersey you were wearing, because you've got your camera mirrored, is that number 25?
Yeah.
Mark McGuire?
Yeah. Do I have it mirrored? Oh, everything is. Oh, this is right because my TV's over here.
Look at your shirt. Does that say athletics?
I mean, I guess. Well, hold on.
Does my shirt say Wolfpack or is it backwards?
I can't tell. No, yours says Wolfpad. That's weird.
Yeah, your camera's mirrored.
How do I remember how to do that? Anyway.
You click on the cog, you go to video, and you click on mirror camera. Now let me see your shirt. Yeah, that says athletics.
But it's weird because like now it has my TV over here. Oh, it has my TV here, but that's weird because my TV's on the other side.
No.
Yeah, no, my TV's like where I'm pointing right now is my wall with where my bed is. My TV.
Yeah, you're pointing at your TV right now.
Yeah, well now my TV's on the this. Hold on. This is the actual way my room is set up. My bed's here, my TV's here.
Yeah, so you just point at the same. I don't understand.
No, but like when I do it this way, when I do this, they've switched sides.
What do you mean they've switched sides?
They've switched sides. On the other image.
Yes, I understand, but this is you. What you need to understand is that this is how the world sees you.
I don't understand that. Because
if I was standing in front of you right now, talking to you, this is what I would see.
Like if we were looking face to face right here, like if you were,
I'm standing right in front of you.
If we were here, you would see my TV. You wouldn't like this. Wouldn't be the same way. Like this isn't the way you would see my room. This is the way. Like if we were looking at each other right now, like this way, this is how you should see my room. If like you're up against where I'm facing, which is my window. And
so if I'm a creeper outside your window looking in right now.
Yeah, you'd be looking at me, but you'd be seeing my TV where it is, and you'd be seeing my bed where it is. Like this is the actual way. This is like the camera is facing me, and this like my TV's here, my bed is here. When I flip it around, my TV's over here, and my bed's here.
Where's your bathroom?
My bathroom is over here.
I think if I've only been to your place once inside, and what I recollect, if I was outside your window, so point to where your bathroom is.
So now my bathroom's here.
Yeah,
but
that is what I'm envisioning.
No, this is not what you would not see it this way though. If you're looking at me, you would see my TV over this is my left shoulder.
Uh-huh.
Like you would see my TV. Like everything is like it's I don't know, like it's weird because like no, I'm raising my right hand right now.
Yeah. I agree.
That's where my bed is.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Over my left is my TV. If you were looking at me, you would see my TV over here, not where it is right now. You would see my TV this situation. In the mirror camera, you would see it this way. If you were up against my window looking at me, for some reason you were outside my window looking in, this is what you would see right now. You would see my TV here, you would see my bed here.
But your bathroom...
My bathroom's here.
I don't think so.
Yeah. What?
If I'm outside looking at you, your bathroom is to your left.
Yes, my bathroom is here because my TV. It's my TV's here. My bathroom's right next to it. Well, not right next to it, but
so the next time I come down there, which is probably going to be somewhere relatively soon, because I've got a lot of Southwest and Spirit flight credits. I'm going to have to explain this to you in person so you get it, because this mirrored is not correct. The way that people see you is the other way.
I don't understand what that even means. Like, I don't understand how because how they're seeing me should be how I'm looking at myself on here, right?
Okay, so I'm gonna let me do this right. So you're mirrored. I'm not right.
Yeah. So when I look at you, when I look,
Hold on. I'm gonna raise my left hand. Okay, that's my left hand. Right, left.
mm-hmm,
Raise your left hand. Put it up to your head. That's your left hand.
mm-hmm,
Put it up to your head. Yours looks like an L, right?
yeah.
Because you're mirrored.
But I'm saying, if you were looking from my window, if you're looking in my window, in my room, you would see the TV on the left, you would see the bed on the right, like how it is right now on this screen. Like, I know, like, your room, the way it's set up, I know that door is over your right shoulder. I know that because you've had this mirrored and it switches and your door is on the other side, which I know it's not.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that somehow mine is correct, not mirrored, but yours is correct, mirrored.
Yeah. Right. I know that's wrong because I know the door is not there. You've had it this way before, and I know the door is not there. Like in your office, I think the door, or the upstairs, I think it was like this, or might have been wrong. I don't remember. But all I know is that like the door is on the opposite side because I've been in that room. My room is actually set up this way because like uh I don't know if you can see my door back there. My door is back there. So it's like my TV, my door, then my bathroom. Whereas like I have nothing on this wall except my bed, well, my hampers and stuff. But like this wall is pretty much barren. Like that wall has all the stuff. So
And
I don't understand how.
Brian makes a comment, such good pod. Again, we don't do this show for you. We do this for us. One, and two, we're pretty much a video show at this point. We don't really do.
We don't really do the pod version anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Murphy's Inc. is for.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm done.
Are you sure you're done? You don't got anything else?
No, I don't have anything else.
Give me one more moment, please. So I want to end where we started, just because I think it's important for perspective, right?
Oh yeah.
So going back to how we opened the show, active shooter situation in Maine, 22 people. 20. Sorry, just had an ad pop up. 22 people are dead following a mass shooting in Lewistown, Maine. At least 22 people are dead. 30 people are injured. It's a very fluid situation. It is not done, just to be clear. Wednesday's death toll is staggering for a state that in 2022, last year, only had a total of 29 homicides in the entire state. The person of interest, Robert Card, is still on the loose. They are attempting to locate him, born April 4th, 1983. There are now they've reverted, and they're saying there are two locations where the alleged active shooter happened: Schmenge's Bar and Grill and Spare Time Recreation. It appears that the person of interest is believed to be in the Army Reserves.
Oh, damn.
According to a bulletin, the person of interest recently reported mental health issues, which included hearing voices and threats to shoot up the National Guard base.
Oh, jeez. Well, now
He
that base better be locked out, at least on lockdown, looking for him.
he was allegedly committed to a mental health facility for 2 weeks this summer.
How did how did he get it? Or unless he had the guns prior, but still, like that's
Authorities in Lewiston are still telling residents to shelter in place
yeah,
and stay inside your home with the doors locked.
right.
Police are currently searching for uh, this person. He's considered armed and dangerous.
Yeah,
If seen, people should not approach.
right.
At midnight, uh, so
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time, so 2 hours ago,
Yeah,
uh, they actually expanded the shelter in place to outside of that city.
as it because like that sounds not that big. So if he's already on the run, and I don't know, I know something. They said something about his car, but if he's still driving that car, he could be miles away.
Yeah.
So,
So this guy still is potentially on the loose. Um, I don't want to necessarily speculate, but uh, the reality of a lot of these situations, at least what we've seen in
People aren't
recent
well.
history,
people are not
is
well.
and he probably at this point has taken himself out.
Yeah, I mean, if there, he very well could have.
Because the fact that it's been quiet, we've been doing the show for over 3 hours now, and there hasn't been any new update,
Updates. Yeah.
or there hasn't been any new shootings, or
Well, I mean, thankfully,
yes, thank God, right? Like, so my suspicion would be he went and did what he did, and
he very well could have offed himself, and if he didn't, he's
and that's not to minimize or to suggest
No,
that anyone should
he's a dead man walking. Basically.
not be concerned, but
No, very well much be concerned because like he could still be out there. Hopefully there's a resolution to this in the next day or so. I would hope.
yeah, what bothers me is looking at the weapons that this person appears to have used, because there's multiple images.
Those look like military grade weapons. Those aren't.
I'm not gonna say military grade, but they definitely are not. They do appear to be assault rifle type
Yeah.
items, and so we do know that in our society it's supposed to be, if you're having mental health issues, you're not supposed to be allowed to have weapons.
Yeah.
And so it begs the question.
That doesn't always happen though, which is a
Well,
shame.
Somebody's committed, and if that pans out to be true, that he was committed for 2 weeks earlier this year,
Yeah.
why did no one go do a wellness check of his home or his facility to make sure he didn't have weapons?
Yeah, that could be a very much failure of the system. But regardless, I just I don't know if just my main thing is, did he have these weapons before? Did he recently get these weapons? Because if he just recently got these weapons, he definitely should have been able to get his hands on them. If he had these weapons, again, like you said, there should have been. Now, if they check to see if there's weapons, can they
Confiscate?
confiscate?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, then, yeah, because it's my Second Amendment. Oh,
I mean, depending on the state, so that's not. Second Amendment does not guarantee you the right to bear arms regardless of your mental well-being, or if you're a criminal, right? Like, we have the right to say that felons are not allowed to have a gun.
right.
So, we have the right to say people who have previously committed a violent crime do not get to have guns.
Right.
So obviously the right to bear arms is not a outright right for anyone and everyone at any given time.
Right. Even though they try and say it's an absolute right. I'm like, whatever.
I think even the farthest conservative person would have to agree that a mentally unstable individual should not have lethal weapons.
100%.
I would hope. And, we've talked about it before. I tend to lean more conservative than you, but there's no way I would say that a mentally unstable person should be allowed to have guns.
Right. Of course. So, I mean, like, hopefully this is, like I said, hopefully this is resolved. Hopefully, either he is, I don't want to say hopefully he's taking himself out, but I want to say hopefully he is done. There, we won't hear anything. Hopefully they catch him or find him very soon and are able to get some answers to this whole situation.
Agreed.
And all the families that are affected, it's so cliche at this point, but definitely, because I can't, there's not a whole lot I can do from here, but like I hope they can find peace
somehow.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, brother.
If you've got nothing else,
Nah.
then hope you all have a good night. Stay safe.
Yeah, definitely stay safe. It's crazy out there, man.
And we'll see you real soon.
Yeah.